Oh, I forgot to add myself to the stage. I'm stupid. Hi, everybody. I had everything all set up and I forgot to do that. Damn it. That's okay. I fixed it. How's everybody doing today? Hope you're having a great day. So, I thought we'd do a retro react today, a very interesting react. And I would like to give proper credit to the person who inspired this retro react. Credit to the channel, The Ankle, because the Angle did a retro react to Foodie to one of her earlier streams where she was at her uncle's house. This was during Crackhead Olympics, and she had gone to her uncle's place to dry out after doing way too much of everything. I wanted to sit down and react to that video. So thank you, the Ankle, for doing that react yourself, because I wanted to add my insight to that as well. Also, I wanted to dig a little bit deeper into some of Foodie's issues, like her behaviors right now, all of the grifting and the scamming and the lying and manipulating. The core reason is because she's an addict. She is a hardcore addict. She's got several different addictions, but she's also got several different issues mixed in with those addictions. And some of those issues are her abandonment issues and issues surrounding her father. So there is another video that I wanted to react to, a retro react, where she's talking about her father. Because I think, in my opinion, like she's got the daddy issues going on and she wants to connect with her father, but she is unable to due to her behaviors. And I think that really has affected her and made her seek out other men who are not her father and trying to turn them into her father figures, which you cannot do, especially if you have a attraction to said person. A father figure should be someone you turn to for advice and guidance, but not look at them in a sexual way. So I thought we put the two together, as well as do the Twitter peeps. By the way, chat, remember all that talk that Foodie did saying the police came out to her house? Well, Foodie, you should know better. You should know better than to tell stories about how the police came to your house, because guess what? Girl World, we got lots of people in Girl World that are coming through with receipts. And there's a receipt on Twitter right now to show no police ever came out to her house. And I'm going to show that in this react as well. So what's up with all this talk about the police came to your house, Foodie? There is no record the police came to your house, ma'am, for a wellness check. Yeah, somebody researched it. See, this is why she shouldn't lie. Because when she lies, 9 times out of 10, someone's going to come through with a receipt to say, you're lying. You are lying, ma'am. I don't know why you're lying, but you're lying. Yeah, I'm shocked too, right? Foodie never lies. How could she lie to us? So that's what's going on today. We're going to do the Twitter peeps, and then we're going to get into the 2 videos. And the 2 videos that I want to react to, they're not really all that long. So the retro react today might be on the shorter side, and I'm okay with that. Yeah, I didn't believe it either, Kathy. She kept changing the details. She kept changing the story. Again, she's a bad liar. Why lie? You're going to get caught in your lies. Hello, Ganja. How are you? I hope you're having a great day as well. I hope everybody is having a great day. Y'all, it is summertime. Get out. Get out of the house. Go take a walk. Do stuff. Go watch the grass grow. Go touch the grass. Go do a slip and slide in the grass. Do what you got to do. This is the time of year you want to be outside, enjoy the sunshine, because when winter comes, it's not going to be so warm. And then you'd be like, why didn't I go out and do stuff? Get out there, damn it. Get outside. I went outside. It's hot. I'm in Albuquerque. It's currently 88 degrees here. It's still a beautiful day. I love the heat. I don't like when I'm cold. I hate being cold. So get out there and do stuff after this retro react. You hear me? Get outside. Yeah, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you too. Love you guys. You know what? And that, Mrs. Peel, is the video that I'm reacting to, the daddy issues one. That's the one. That's the other video relating to her daddy issues. So, are y'all ready to get into the retro react? Because I'm going to do the Twitter peeps first. Let's just get into it. It is time for the Twitter peeps. You're outside and it's cold. Where the hell are you? Where are you located that is cold? Are you in Alaska? How in the world is it cold where you are? What is going on over there? Did you see Chantal Gucci's community post? She might take legal action against Foodie. Hope she does. I hope she's documenting all the threats made by Foodie and also by her posters. She needs to keep documentation about that. Western Pennsylvania is 67 degrees. Dang. It's cold up there. How is that possible? I'm just shocked it's cold. But that's Pennsylvania. We're down here in Albuquerque. It's hot. All right, let's get into the Twitter peeps, y'all. Okay, so for all of you peeps people that you are on Twitter, there's my handle, Wild Girl Sarah. For those of you not on Twitter and you don't want to be there, that's why I do the peeps. I bring them here and I react to them. So you guys can see all of the tidbits, the news bits, the stuff from Girl World, and you don't have to go on Twitter. I'll just look around and bring stuff here to you. All right, so Mark Carney is not my prime minister, says Foodie Beauty making up stories about her dad. Via YouTube lies and bullshit her dad wants her have nothing to do with her brothers. She does not know because of drama she always has going. When she showed up at her grandmother's funeral, bare ass. This is the video. We're going to watch the video, so don't worry. We're going to get into that. Miss Harmony says Foodie Beauty actually thinks her celebrity status means she'll be recognized at Ottawa's Canada Day celebrations. Chantal, during your live, you have maybe 130 actual fans watching and 5 are talking to you. The only reason anyone will notice you is because you're poorly dressed, an angry woman plowing through the crowd, bumping into people and getting glared at. So let's listen for a moment to what Foodie has to say.
Canada Day.
No, why is she talking so low?
Recipe for disaster.
Hold on.
Crowd everywhere.
Let me start over.
Canada Day. It's going to be a recipe for disaster. Crowd everywhere. I'll see. Do you know how many people are probably going to recognize me?
You know what, Foodie? If you don't want to go out during Canada Day, if you don't want to deal with the heat, if you don't want to deal with the crowds, you don't want people taking your picture or putting you on video, here's what you do. You do something inside that's really entertaining. I don't know what that is. If somebody is suggesting for you to go out and do stuff and you don't want to, and you want to get around that, plan a stream where you're doing stuff inside that keeps people properly entertained. That's the workaround. Just say, no, I don't want to go out, but I'll tell you what, instead of us going out and me possibly getting heat stroke because it is hot outside, we'll just do some fun stuff inside. I'll think of something. We'll play some board games. I don't care. That's how you do the workaround. People don't want you being inside because when you stay inside, all you do is lay on that couch and talk about nothing and stuff your face. They want to break from all that. But if you want to get out of going outside, plan something interesting inside. Or not. Be boring and lose more people on your channel. Your choice. Let's see. Juan says, stir the pot and retell fake things said by reaction channels in Gucci, knowing Foodie Beauty is too lazy to fact check. The VIBs wind her up and rage for their amusement. 2, Foodie, how does it feel to be manipulated by them into legal trouble or losing your platform? Your VIBs seem to really want you gone. Yeah. Yeah, we saw that happen in real time. I had Gucci up on panel. We were having a conversation about what had happened. She just got 5 seconds of footage, and Foodie and the VIBs were just going off and making threats. And in real time, the VIBs were on my channel and then going back to Chantal and telling her things that weren't actually being said, saying that threats were being made over on my side. I'm like, where? By who? Nobody's making threats. The only people that are making threats are on Foodie's side of the fence, not over here. But they were straight up lying to her face, putting the battery in her back and getting her all riled up because they're bored of the boring content too. And maybe some of them want to have her channel canceled. Maybe they're over there trolling her. They're trouble over there. Hello, Yarn. So they're not everybody over on Foodie's side is thinking in her best interest. That's for doggone sure. All right. Julie says Chantal called herself disabled. You are lazy, dumbass. She really did too. I watched the clip. She called herself disabled. Listen.
The difference is going to always be, well, I did this to myself, so I deserve this disability, which they don't think is really one. But they completely but this person, the difference is going to always be, well, I did this to myself, so I deserve this disability, which they don't think is really one. But they completely but this person, the difference is going to always be, well, I did this to myself, so I deserve this disability, which they don't think is really one. But they completely but this person.
Y'all heard that, right? She's referring to herself as being disabled. Chantal, you are not disabled. And you know what's really fucked up? What's really fucked up is the way you were talking about Chantal Gucci, referring to her as being a cripple. So isn't that something that when you want sympathy and you want people to give you money, you will say, I am disabled. But yet somebody who has a bit of a disability, you'll refer to them as a cripple. And then when you learn about their health issues, when you learn that that person has health problems, heart problems, you say, oh, they'll be dead in a few years anyway. So isn't that just weird? You're referring to yourself as disabled, but yet you'll call someone with a disability a cripple. That's fucked up. You're not disabled. Ma'am, not too long ago, you were out in public and you walked up an entire tall set of stairs and back again. You're not disabled. If you can do that, you are not disabled. You can do things when you want to, you just don't want to. You're over there catering to the immobilizer feeders. They like to see you act disabled. The stream that you did yesterday, you stood up and actually washed your fucking dishes. But then you sat back down because you realized that the immobilizer feeders didn't want to see that. You sat down and used something to turn on your sink. You don't have to use a tool to turn on your sink. Stand up and turn it on. You're not disabled, though. You may have lost some of your mobility because of your weight, but you're not disabled. So you really shouldn't refer to yourself as being disabled. You know, stop trying to say, I am disabled, and you're using that for sympathy and pity. Hello, Chantal Gucci. Welcome. Gucci, listen to this shit right here. Let me play it for you, mama. Listen to this crap.
The difference is going to always be, well, I did this to myself, so I deserve this disability, which they don't think is really one. But they completely but this person, the difference is going to always be, well, I did this to myself, so I deserve this disability, which they don't think is really one. But they completely but this person, the difference is going to always be, well, I did this to myself, so I deserve this disability, which they don't think is really one. But they completely.
Hear that? Her referring to herself as having a disability. And yet she was making fun of you for using a walker, Gucci. and calling you a cripple. How about that? This bitch over here. Yeah, thank you, Coconut. Being fat is not a disability if you're doing it to yourself. Correct. If she lost the weight, then she would have more of her mobility. So how exactly is she disabled? She's not disabled. She's simply at a size where maybe she has trouble doing certain things and she has limited mobility, but she's not disabled. So she should not be referring to herself as a disabled person. Bad Seed Reaction says Foodie Beauty forgot to turn the filter on. Then she realized, then she did turn the filter on. Chantal, you look like you have the measles. So look at the magic that filters can do. Hello, Allison. Look what a difference those filters make in her skin. Excuse me. Look what a difference they make. Isn't that something, Yarn? You know, like I see a difference in the shape of the chin, definitely a difference in the skin texture. Thank you. I mean, those filters are doing the heavy lifting, literally. What a difference. Moving right along. Dried up Twitter hag said her pee was light yellow and she's never seen that. Yikes. She needs to stop talking about her blood work because when it comes to results, we're going to hear, I'm not talking about my health. It's none of your business, which just means my A1C is 14. So what do we have here? Normal blood sugar levels chart logbook. So Chantal is claiming that she's never seen her pee be yellow, that it's always a different color. And I do remember her making a comment about her pee look like barbecue sauce. So that means that it sounds like it's in this range over here. So light yellow, very low. Darker yellow, very low. Orange, maximum after meal in non-diabetes. Red, a little high to very high, depending on the patient. And like a red-brown is very high. So she said her pee has never been yellow. It's red or orange, which means she's got very, very high blood sugar. That's not good, Foodie. That's definitely not good. Kalea says, a reactor said he thought Chantal made up the cops coming over to get Salah to invite her back to live with him. He didn't even offer, and he was in the chat. All he basically said was that she should make a report. He doesn't want to live with her. Nope, that's never going to happen again. She's never going to see Salah in person again. And he's not coming to Canada. He's very happy keeping her at a distance. He can get what he wants without the headache. And so far it's working. She sends him money. He doesn't have to live with her. He doesn't have to clean up after her. He doesn't have to go on food runs for her. He doesn't have to cater to her addiction ways. Doc Remy LeBeau says if Chantal actually had blood drawn, she would have been showing off the bruises because you know she's the type who would bruise like badges of honor and milking them for donuts for as long as possible. That's a good point. Chantal's very fair-skinned and she bruises easy. So if she had blood drawn, where are the bruises? She can't show us where they took the blood. That area would be even slightly bruised. So where's the bruise? No bruise? No, not at all. Interesting. Okay, y'all are going to get mad at this. Ron says sick. She's telling the internet what color her deceased grandma's pubes were. This nasty hoe. Let's listen.
Had red eyelashes, the whole nines. The curtains matched the drapes. Not that you wanted to know that, but that's how you know if it's a real redhead.
Why is she talking this way about her grandmother? That is so disrespectful. That is so disrespectful to grandma. You know what? You know what? Plug your ears, y'all. I got to do this.
You're nasty. You're nasty. You're a little nasty.
Yeah, she is nasty. She for her saying that, she deserved that. Miss Harmony says Foodie Beauty's new narrative on today's live with two different descriptions of the police who came to her house for a welfare check. Then it did not take long for sleuths to learn she had completely fabricated a police response to play the victim, entirely forgetting that public scanner logs are readily available to anyone with a 5-second internet connection. She literally handed the community the shovel, jumped in the hole, and dug it herself, but when hasn't she? And if y'all want to see the receipt, here's the receipt, courtesy of Lolafied, saying if Foodie Beauty were smart, she'd know to lie about things girl world can't easily debunk. Here's the Ottawa police scanner call log for today. No calls reported to her area, nor were any LEOs dispatched to her. None of the listed calls relates to her either. So there's the receipt. No calls to Foodie's house. They came out. The calls should be there. Why is it not there? Yeah, she lied for attention again. Of course she did. This is why she should not lie, because she always gets caught in her lies. Chantal is known for years that there are a lot of detectives in girl world. And of course, there are the Kiwi farmers. So between the farms and between girl world, not a whole lot slips past us. That's why she should be very careful about the stories she puts together and the details she puts in the stories, because we will comb through every detail looking for the lies and expose the lies. So I don't know what happened yesterday, Foodie. I think that this is what I think, my theory. I think you told the lie about going to the labs. You made up that whole story about what happened at the labs and all the drama there, although Girl World immediately picked that apart and saw that you pulled that story off a viral video off of TikTok. So you got exposed for using somebody else's experience and story and fabricating a story of your own. Then you told people in your chat that you were going to get your blood drawn at home. I don't think you ever schedule an appointment to get your blood drawn, because I don't think you give a damn about your health. But that's what you told the beezers in your chat, the ones that give a damn about your health and they want you to be healthy and they are not food fetish freaks. You're basically feeding them a scrap of hope that you actually care about yourself. You didn't have to, though. Nobody's saying you have to care about your health at all. But you followed up the first lie with a second lie. And then to make sure that nobody asked, have you got your blood drawn today? What were the results? What happened? You came up with this fantastic story about the police coming to your house, and you got exposed for that too. Oh, okay. Hey, Cindy. Rose, I didn't touch the poo, but I did call the police station and let them know that she was telling everybody to call if they don't believe her. And I gave them the details and gave them her channel. Oh boy. See, this is why Foodie should not talk about the law, want to involve the law. I mean, especially with the things that she's doing. She's over there, evading her taxes, doing money laundering, and doing the chemicals and the party favors, is this someone that really wants attention from the police? Does she really want to get them involved? Does she want to kick at Girl World and say, do your worst? Is this smart to do? Stupidest thing in the world. If you're doing some shady ass shit and you're telling a whole community of people to do their worst, Chantal, you're an idiot. That's like walking up to a hornet's nest and kicking a hornet's nest barefoot. The hornets are going to come out and they're going to start stinging. You should know better by now. Every time you say do your worst and then something happens and you freak out and say, I don't know why people are coming after me. You don't want people to come after you. Don't give them a reason to. Don't fuck with people. Don't piss people off. It's so easy. You want Girl World's attention, so you say and do things to get our attention, to get people all pissed off. And then when they react to being pissed off, then you get mad because of what the reaction is. It leads to trouble for you. So there's the receipt, y'all. There's the call log. No calls to Foodie's house. None whatsoever. All right, so that's it for the Twitter peeps. We got through those really quickly. So where should we start first? I think we should start in a very interesting place. And this is a video released by It's Water Weight about 16 hours ago. And this has to do with her father. I'm going to go ahead and put the link for the video in the chat. If you guys want to check out Water Weight and all of their great content. It's Water Weight is a great channel, but Foodie has many addictions, but she also has many issues. And one of those issues is her daddy issues, her abandonment issues, her having daddy issues and abandonment issues. That might explain why she feels she has to control men and make them codependent on her, because by getting somebody into a situation where they can't escape, and if they try, she's going to punish them. That could be related to or linked to her daddy issues and her abandonment issues. So let's go back and let's see the way she talks about her father, shall we? Because I think that's I think there's a lot to be explored there. And this is something that she needs to work out in therapy, but she never will. She has daddy issues. She's never addressed them. She could address them in therapy, and that might help a little bit. But instead, she just taking all of these issues and she passes them off onto a stranger, and they do not solve the issue. So let me just go ahead and get out of here. I'm just trying to keep track of my tabs and hope you guys enjoy. Let's do this.
His wife or whatever, hi Squeaky, and they like told my mom, and they were concerned about me, and they're like, I wish she would reach out. So because my dad did ask for he calls my mom sometimes to get news on me or to ask for my number, and she doesn't give it out. She's like, I'll ask her first. So I don't hate my dad or anything. It's just I don't want to one day just hear that he passed away, So it's and I have two brothers. I have brothers. I have teenage brothers, bro. That I don't even know. I met once, I'm
going to ask a serious question. Chantal, you know how you are. You're a selfish, mean, nasty person. Honest question, if you were a parent that gave a damn about your kids, would you let somebody like that around your kids? No. Absolutely not. Hell, you exploit children for money. I don't care if you are my child. If I have younger children, I'm not going to let you exploit the other children because of your issues. Fuck that. I can understand why your dad doesn't let you around your brothers, why he's cut off contact with you. Look at all that you've done on the internet. Look at the way that you presented yourself. A mean, nasty, embarrassing, disgusting, exploitative person. That's why he's hands off with you. Just of the way that you handle yourself. Her brothers are not teens anymore, but still, even if her brothers are not in their teens, it's like, why would he bring her around his sons?
Yeah. I don't really see my dad much. Bean Queen. We text message and stuff, but he lives kind of far away.
Hey, Mike.
I've never really been that close to him, so. About the time that I got kicked out of my house when I was living at my mom's.
I mean, let's go back to your childhood with your sister. Hey, Jimbo. Let's think about your childhood with your sister, your little sister, your half sister. Look what you did to her. You terrorized your sister. You put her in a dryer, for Christ's sakes. You bullied your sister to the point where your family puts you in a group home. How rotten do you have to be for your own family to say, they throw their hands up and say, we can't do anything here. Let's put her in a group home because she needs to behave and she's not going to behave here. Can you blame your dad for keeping you away from his sons? You were resentful of the fact that your dad left. You felt abandoned. You're resentful of the fact that Natalie had a mother and a father. You were so resentful that you took out your resentment and your bitterness on your little sister who was blameless. She's just being brought into the world. She did nothing wrong. But you were just a mean, angry bitch, even when you were young. And you took out your issues on your little sister. Horrible. Blaming a little girl for something that was never her fault.
So I don't know if you guys know, but I don't really talk to my dad. My dad, he lives in Windsor, Ontario right now, but at the time he lived in my hometown, Cornwall. And, you know, he was reluctant, but he offered for me to stay there. And he was like, you know, you're not going to try any bullshit with me. You know, these bullshit parents who are never in your life, and then all of a sudden when they're in your life, I think they're going to make an impact.
It's, you know what, it's so strange watching this video because this is a very, very old retro clip right here. And she's telling the story of her father is saying, I'm not going to put up with any bullshit from you. And yet, Foodie, the men that you are attracted to, the men that you want to be with, like you're looking for this father figure and you want them to be dominant, right? You want a dominant kind of man. And yet your real father was dominant and you were a brat and you didn't like it. So it's like you're searching for these qualities in a man in your life that you are attracted to, but your father, who is your actual father, has these qualities and you don't like it? You don't like it.
Be all put down the stick and make a difference. Yeah, that was my dad. So he let me stay at his house, and I had anger, abandonment issues from my dad, you know, so I wasn't, you know, really too happy, but he was a Nazi. Like, he was so strict. Like, he would.
Wow. Calling your own father a Nazi just because he was strict. That's pretty strong.
Like, he warned me. He's like, don't steal from me. Or don't do anything you're not supposed to because I'll know about it.
Wow. For a father to look at their daughter And the first words out of their mouth is, don't steal from me and don't lie to me. It sounds like dad had been warned by mom, like she's a bit of a thief. She's a bit of a pickpocket. She'll go through your purse. She'll go through your wallet. Your own father looking at you and saying, don't steal from me. Don't lie to me. I mean, what kind of a reputation do you have that your own dad is warning you not to do your bullshit around him? He's a Nazi and he is too strict because he's telling you, don't steal from me, don't lie to me, don't try your shit on me because I'll see right through you. And you're angry about that because somebody can see all the way around your manipulation and your lies, and they're not going to allow you to take advantage of them. Sounds like that's the kind of father that she needed. That's the kind of father she needed in her life. Someone that would just set down rules and boundaries and say, like, don't even try it with me. Don't even. That's what she needed. That's what she didn't get, though, but she did need it. She's headstrong, and that's what she needed. She needed a male figure that would not put up with her shit and let her know, you can't do that nonsense with me. I had that kind of father. And you know what? I was grateful to have that kind of father. And I absorbed everything he taught me. My father was a good man, but he was a 6'2", thick ass redneck who served in the military. And a lot of people get annoyed from me to this day because I always say yes, sir, or yes, ma'am. They're like, why are you calling me ma'am? Why are you calling me sir? I can't help it. That got ingrained in me real early. I learned to be respectful from my father. And if you're not, you're going to get the look. You get one look, you get one warning look, and that's all you get. You know, there was no acting up in my house. You pay the price for that. So whatever you did, you're only going to do it once. She needed that in her household. She needed that kind of discipline. Like nothing will be tolerated. She didn't get it, though. That's part of the problem.
I have ways. I'm thinking he must have cameras or something in his house. You know? When I had to go live with him, that was my all-time low. So far. I didn't have any money. And this was bad, but, you know, back then I was, you know, not the best person. And
you know what? If you're a parent and if you do such good parenting that all you have to do when your child screws up is look at them and say, I am so disappointed in you. And they feel crushed. They feel like this tall. You've done your job right. You've done it completely right. Just one look and the words, I am so disappointed in you. And that's all you got to say. And they feel terrible. You've done your job well.
He had this like big thing of change, like quarters. And he would never give me money or any allowance or nobody. I had no money. I had no job at the time. So
you know what? Shut up, Chantal. I like this comment. Where'd it go? Thank you, Shelly. I think Chantal's mom tried to be a friend and not a parent. Exactly. Same thing with her aunt. They act like her friends versus the parent. I mean, I understand that her mother got pregnant when she was young. I'm sure that had a lot to do with things. But still, it's like you can't be a friend to your child. You have to be the parent. You have to be. Her mom was her friend and not her mother. But I'm sorry, I was talking over Foodie. Let's go back.
I have ways, and I'm thinking he must have cameras or something in his house. You know? When I had to go live with him, that was my all-time low so far. I didn't have any money. And this was bad, but, you know, back then I was, you know, not the best person. And he had this, like, big thing of change, like quarters. And he would never give me money or any allowance or nobody. I had no money. I had no job at the time. So I snuck a handful of quarters one time.
You stole from your father. And you wonder why he doesn't want your ass around, because even then you were a thief. What did he tell you? He put down boundaries. He said, don't steal from me. Don't steal. She's talking about her dad. She went to go stay with her father. And he met up with her and said, I'm telling you now, don't lie to me and don't steal from me. If you needed money, why didn't you walk up to your dad and say, hey, Dad, can I get some money? Can I just some change to go get some food or something? You didn't even try to do the right thing. You didn't walk up and ask for money. You decided just to take it. That's not how you do things, Chantal. It's not right to take other people's things. You didn't even try to do the right thing by your dad.
I don't remember what I bought with it. Anyways, when I came home that night, I think he confronted me about it and was like, I know you stole quarters. I don't know, I was just mad. I just had all this anger towards him. Not just from the money thing. I mean, you know, I stole.
In Chantal's mind, in her mind, she's thinking, why is it a big deal? It's just a bunch of quarters. It's not that much money. Chantal, sometimes it's not the amount of money that matters. It's the principle of the thing. The principle. It's the fact that you stole from him. That is the more important point. After he warned you, don't steal from me. You want a relationship with your dad, and yet you're going to start off the relationship being a thief. So if he had let it slide, you know, the first incident might be you stealing quarters. What else are you going to steal? Yeah, it's the betrayal. It's the act of betrayal. And it sucks more when the person who betrays you and steals from you is your own blood. That hurts just a little bit more. So you are his daughter and you stole money. And you probably weren't even sorry that you did. You weren't even apologetic and saying, I'm sorry, Dad. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have stole from you. Is there something that I can do to make up for what I did? Can I do some household chores? Can I make up the amount of money that I stole from you? I want to make it right. I'm sure that would have impressed him, that you were admitting you're wrong and you want to make it right somehow. Hey, Grandpa Jim. But no, you just stole and then you're all indignant and me. And why is he so mad? It's just a handful of quarters. It's the principle. The fact that you stole money when you didn't even try to ask first. Yeah, if I in my family, if I had stole anything, I would have got my ass whooped. Period. There wasn't even a question about that.
Money from him, but he's just not a good father. So to get back at him, he just got new leather couches. I wiped huge boogers on his sofa.
So that's the way she pays back her dad. Staying with her dad, and he's had leather sofas, and she smeared her boogers all over the couch. That is so childish. And it's so nasty that you're so spiteful and wrathful and childish and immature. You're going to smear boogers all over somebody's furniture, you nasty bitch.
My mom had gotten back together with my dad. And it was winter and we were driving on the highway. I don't remember what kind of car, or if it was a car or a truck. I don't remember. All I remember is my dad was driving. I was in the middle seat. Like nowadays in cars, there doesn't seem to be a middle seat. I don't know. And my mom was in the passenger. And my dad, not very bright thing to do, but he was fixated on the radio. And he didn't look up at the road. The next thing I remember.
Okay, I'm kind of confused about this story. Let me tell you why. Because the story that I got about Chantal's mom and her dad was that Chantal's mom tried to baby trap her father by getting pregnant. And that did not work. Dad said no. So Chantal was very, very young when dad disappeared from her life. I'm also kind of confused because Chantal told another story about her biological father, where according to her, he was very overweight like she is and very much into food and alcohol. But the pictures that I've seen of dad and her brothers, that's not her father. So I don't know if she made up that story. She was just telling a bunch of nonsense on her father to kind of like make it seem like this is why I'm the way that I am, because my dad was kind of that way too. But the story she's telling about riding in the car with the mom, how is that possible if he left early?
Is my mom telling my dad, look out. And then we swerved off the road. Into like a small ravine, kind of. And I just remember like just sitting there, absolutely calm, almost like I was outside of myself. I didn't react. And our car flipped a few times. And it ended up upside down. I remember my mom freaking out.
This is Foodie trying to act like something traumatic happened to her, because I don't believe this story. That she was in the car and the car flipped upside down for a couple of times and nothing happened to her. Really? I'm not believing this story. She was young and she would have been injured if this really happened.
My dad was able to get out. I don't remember where my mom was. All I remember is her freaking out because I couldn't get out, because I couldn't get out of my belt. It was like jammed. I just remember like, you know, my mom freaking out. It seemed like forever. I think my dad was trying to get help. I don't know why, but like nobody was coming to help us. It seemed like forever. I don't know.
So, okay, wait a minute. So she's telling this fantastic lie story about her mother, her dad, and her in the car. And she had her seatbelt on. I don't know how old she was, but she said, I don't know where my mom was. Where the fuck was your mom? Wasn't she in the car with you? And your dad was looking to get help, and neither one of them are trying to get you out of your car seat? I beg your pardon. So you've got two parents and neither one are trying to get you out of the car. They're completely ignoring you. They're not even trying to get you out of your car seat or get out of the back seat where the belt is. Huh? You're a parent. If something happens like that, your first thought is, my child. I've got to get my child. How is my child? If they're strapped into the back seat, you are pulling up that car apart to get them out of there. You will have ungodly strength pulling that car apart to get your child out of the car. This is bullshit.
If it was like, I don't know if it was like a highway or a deserted stretch of road, but I don't know, we were in the snow, and all of a sudden, like, I just see this guy, these two legs, and it was like jeans. I didn't ever see the person's face. It was like a man. They had like jeans, and they had like, I remember them wearing like cowboy boots. But the memory isn't a reliable thing, so maybe they were just boots. I don't know, but that's what my memory tells me, was like cowboy boots.
So, like, there are details in this story that should be there. Like, if she were stuck in the car, and if mom and dad can't get her out, mom and dad coming to her side, like trying to get her out, crying because they can't get her out, looking for some way to undo the belt, can't do it. Those details are missing. They should be there. Because, you know, if I were a parent and I had a child that was in the back seat, and we're you know, like we're doing 360s in the car, as a parent, again, I would be tearing that car apart with my bare hands to get my child out of that fucking car. I wouldn't just leave them there and wait for someone to come. Like, no, I'm tearing that door off the car if I have to. I don't care what I got to do. None of that. There's no talk about that at all. You're gonna leave the kid there?
I remember him saying he had a knife. He had a knife. And my dad cut me out of the car.
Oh, so your dad happened to have a knife on him. And so the car does a couple of backflips. You're stuck in the back seat. And he's not automatically pulling out that knife to cut that seatbelt. He's going to wait a minute. Really? Okay, bitch. Yeah, exactly. Girl. I know it is bullshit. We know it's bullshit.
So I always remember that person. Like, they just seemed really helpful, and like when they were around, I remember just feeling like calm and like everything was going to be okay. Like, I just remember feeling like this person, even though I couldn't see their face, was a very kind soul. Like, I just felt like love from this person. I don't know, it's a really weird feeling. Do you talk to your biological father? Not really. Not often.
Lord have mercy. Y'all, this is one of her earlier mukbangs. Look at her face. Holy shit. Girl. I said, damn. You looking big. You looking kind of swollen. And this was when she was lighter. I mean, holy moly, macaroni and cheese, Pac-Man. There's a full moon out tonight. That's for damn sure.
Maybe once a year, honestly. It's always been that way. He was more in my life as a kid, but as a kid, he wasn't, my mom didn't want him around a lot. Like, they had issues, like they were teenage parents. I think he tried as a kid, when I was a kid, but we have kind of an awkward relationship, and we're not close. So, yeah, so not really.
And you know what, Chantal, you cannot tell me that the fact that you never had a relationship with your father, that it doesn't hurt, that there isn't a wound in you to this day. When you are without a parent, it creates a wound in your soul, in your mind, that stays open and never heals. You cannot tell me that you don't have a wound like that it doesn't hurt. And you try to fill the wound with other people who are not your father. You try to find a father substitute by picking a guy that you are attracted to, and you try to give them the daddy role when they're not your father. You're trying to make them role play being a father figure. But no matter who you pick, that person will never be a father figure and that wound will never close. Ever.
I don't have a good relationship. I don't even have a relationship with my dad, actually, so. It is what it is. Your brothers know you. I met my brothers once. And my oldest brother, I think he was, how old was he at the time? 12 or 13 when I met him. He was saying how he watches my videos. So I think they watch me, like my dad and my dad.
How embarrassing. So she met her brothers one time. And her father and her brothers have seen her videos on YouTube. Holy shit. And this is why I'm sure dad does not let her around his family. I mean, they're seeing the way that she's behaving online. Of course, dad is not okay with that and saying, we need to stay away from this person because she's just an entire mess. How embarrassing that your family is seeing you act this way online.
Dad was watching all my videos. And he would call me from work. And talk to me about it. But try to like give me advice, like, you know, like don't worry about these people, you know, any attention's good.
No, 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 no. No, ma'am. No, 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 no. I'm not letting you get away with that. Your biological father sounds a lot like my father. And my father was strict. This conversation of don't worry about the haters never fucking happened. Because if your dad was a lot like my dad, Foodie, you know what would be happening? He'd be getting on the phone saying, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you acting that way? Oh, he'd be giving you the third degree. If I was acting up, my dad, he's no longer with us. But if he were here and now we're acting like that, he'd be the first on the phone getting into my ass saying, what is wrong with you? I did not raise you this way. You need to calm down or I'm going to fly up there and I'm going to have something to say to you, young lady. I don't care how old I get. I'm still my father's daughter. And I'll always be his little girl. But my dad be the first on that phone saying, you better get it together or I'm going to come up here. I'm going to show you how to get it together. I don't care how old you are because that's what fathers do. So this bullshit of him saying, don't worry about the haters. That is a lie. That's what you want to hear from your dad. You want to hear support for your bullshit behavior. But a real father, a real parent will call you on your shit and let you know you're acting all the way wrong. And you were. You still are. But you don't want to hear that.
Good attention. Just don't even listen to them because he would give me these like pep talks. And then my brother said he watched, you know, my videos and looked up to me. Like, not looked up to me, but he wanted to be a YouTuber. So he was always asking me. But then my other younger brother just didn't even, like, he's very, like whatever, you know, very, dismissive. He was just playing hockey on the TV. Like, he was, like, glued to the TV. So, it's not easy. I mean, my dad was alive, but like she didn't want him around me when he was going through like drinking and stuff, you know? I used to.
There is absolutely no proof that Foodie's father was heavily into food or alcohol. No proof of that at all. None. So more than likely it's stuff that she was making up about her dad to excuse the fact that she is a hardcore addict, even to this day.
I used to ride a bike as a kid, but it always got stolen. I got my bike stolen like 3 different times. My dad always bought them for me. That was like his way of like making up for not really being around. He would buy me a bicycle. I love cheese. That's my problem. I just love food. And I don't mean if
Maybe dad was trying to give you a hint with those bicycles. You should get on that bike and get out into the world, ride the bike, enjoy yourself versus sitting in a room and eating yourself crazy. That was a hint that he gave you. The gift that he gave you was a bicycle. He kept giving you bicycles. Maybe dad saw something early that you were getting bigger and bigger and you were focused on the food, and he was trying to show you something you could do that was not food related. You might actually have fun and enjoy yourself. He was giving you something to help you be more active. Get out of the house, do stuff.
offense to my dad if he's watching, but I know I get it from him. Remember I told you about the story about he loves food.
But there's no proof of that. I've seen pictures of your dad. He looks like he's very fit. He does not look overweight or super morbidly obese like you. You're trying to blame shift onto your dad. Like all of my issues are my dad's fault. He was an alcoholic and an overeater, therefore so am I. Chantal, I'll be the first to tell you that I come from a family where the majority of the people in my family were obese or super morbidly obese. Me and my brother were the only smaller ones. And I don't know if it's hereditary. I don't know if it's for their diets or whatnot. But even if you are predisposed to obesity, it doesn't mean automatically you have to be obese. Or if you have a parent who is an alcoholic or into drugs, it doesn't mean automatically that you're going to be addicted to anything. You just got to be a bit more careful. But you're trying to blame shift all of your issues onto your father like it's his fault, it's his fault, it's his fault. There are lots of people that have fucked up childhoods or grow up without a family, or they grow up rough, but they turn out to be good people. You cannot blame everything on a parent. You just can't. You got to take some accountability for yourself that the issues you have were caused by you, not by someone else.
Just from when I would spend the night over at his place, or I remember waking up, it was like middle of the night and he was cooking steak. I'm just like, what the heck? And he's like, you want some? I remember that. I don't hate my dad. Maybe one day I'll reconcile with him, but we've just never been close. And I just don't know if it's just like too late to mend the relationship.
It's never too late. It's never too late. But you've got to want to fix yourself. You've got to want to heal that relationship. You've got to address all the issues in you that make that relationship impossible, but you're not willing to do that. So there's forever going to be a distance.
I don't feel loved by him. I've always just felt like the black sheep, like both of my family, both my mom and dad.
But you know what? That's a shame because they're not making you into the black sheep. You're making yourself into the black sheep with your behavior. You're embarrassing. You're disgusting. You do disgusting, embarrassing things. And you're proud of being vulgar. And you wonder why your family wants nothing to do with you. You can't act the way that you're acting and expecting that that will be okay and accepted. They're not going to welcome that with open arms, Foodie. You want the relationship with your family, you've got to change.
Have redone families. You know, I feel like I was like the teenage experiment kind of. So I feel like he could have made more of an effort to be in my life. I don't think that any circumstance, if I had a child, I don't right now, but I would, there's nothing that could keep me away from them, you know?
There's nothing that could keep me away from my family. And yet, look where she's at here. Look where she's at. There's nothing that could keep me away from my family. And yet she flew thousands of miles away from them. And she stayed away for 3+ years. Nothing can keep me away from my family except chasing dick that I don't even have a chance to look at. Nothing can keep me away from my family except for my obsession with other men. And being obsessed with being with a man.
You know, so I mean, just handing off like a few $100 to my mom on occasions is not parenting. It's not, you know. just like having a pet and you just take care of the medical needs. No, they need love, they need attention, they need yeah, it's the same thing.
That was the wonderful video by It's Waterway. I thought that was really insightful, like, because I feel that her addiction issues and her mental emotional issues, they are both hand in hand. One triggers the other, one hold hands with the other. You know, like there's a lot of deep emotional mental issues that all of it is just mixed up in one big tight ball of everything. So we're going to move on to another video. And again, full credit to the ankle for doing a video on this today. And that's what inspired this retro react. So this video is from Barbecued Chicken. And I'm going to put a link in the chat for those who want to check out all the Barbecued Chicken's content. Sub up to the channel because there's a lot of past content on there. All you got to do is look up Foodie Beauty 2021 or 2022, and you'll find a lot of stuff that maybe you've never seen before. Your home, very nice, Gucci. So let me set the stage for y'all. What's going on here? What's happening in this video? So this was during Crackhead Olympics, and this was a time when Foodie was really going off the rails doing the Coca-Cola. And she way overdid it. Like, she did a video that I've reacted to where she confessed to having a Coca-Cola habit. And she did about $3,000 to $4,000 worth of Coca-Cola. And she said she couldn't stop. So she was deep into the Coca-Cola habit and she needed to dry out. So she decided to go to her uncle's house and stay for a few days, just a few days. Now, I have heard, but I cannot confirm, that her uncle was actually a NA sponsor. And maybe that's why she felt it was a safe place to dry out, because he was a sponsor. So she was staying at the uncle's house. He had a spare room. But here's the thing. She stayed there for a few days and then she left. She went back home. But before she went back home, she was already ordering a shipment of green products to arrive at her house before she got there. So the few days she spent at the uncle's place really didn't make a difference, because she went home, but before she went home, she was on her phone ordering more rugs, and lots of them. So I don't know why she went to the uncle's place. Yeah, she was still using. So that's how I'm setting the stage for y'all. Like, you're going to see the different environment. You're going to go, like, where is she at? She's at the uncle's place. She's in the spare room and she's talking to people. So that's where we're starting. So let's go.
Last night, I relapsed. So, you know the video where I was like...
Okay, I'm stopping it there for a reason. Y'all see that? Look right there on her ankle. Diabetic neuropathy. She had that all the way back then. There were dark patches all over her feet and all over her legs. Yeah, imagine it now. But we saw that during Crackhead Olympics. It was showing up years ago. And that wasn't a cause of concern for Chantal. She's had those dark spots for a long time. Yep. There it is. Take a picture if you want. Imagine how it is now. Yeah, you're right, Mrs. Peel. It is wrong to stream from his house, but Foodie doesn't care about personal spaces. She doesn't care. Mike, can I ask you something, sir? I know, like, you haven't reacted in the longest, but is there any chance of you coming back to Girl World and reacting? Because I would love to see you react again. We miss your laughter, sir. I miss your giggle. It is so infectious. It is so happy. It would make me smile. You are so missed, sir. You are amazing reacting to Foodie. Just give it a thought. Please come back. We love you, man. We love you. And I miss seeing Ollie too. Ollie was gorgeous. Mike has a beautiful cat named Ollie. Gorgeous. Coat on point in due course. Let me know, sir. I'll be the first right there watching. All right, let's keep going.
Last night.
And I, for the record, this video, normal speed, you really couldn't tell what was being said because barbecue chicken sped it up. I got bad ears anyway. I got tinnitus in both ears, so I've slowed the speech down a bit. It's still really high pitched. I understand why, to get around being struck and all that, but I've actually slowed this down so I can understand what the hell Chantal is saying.
I relapsed. So, you know the video where I was like, tea time? I didn't take anything that day.
Chantal, forgive me, but you look high right now. Your pupils are blasted, bitch. What did you take? You're over your uncle's house and you should be drying out. What the hell did you take? You take an edible? I don't know what you took, but damn. You're supposed to be drying out and you're still flying. The fuck? Why do this at somebody's house, especially an NA sponsor, bitch? How dare you?
But I relapsed like the day before. So, it's probably still in my system. So, I relapsed yesterday.
And no, she's using language she has no business using. She said, I relapsed yesterday. Bitch, you were never sober. How can you say relapsed when you were never fucking sober? Taking a day off from doing the Coca-Cola or whatever the hell you were doing does not mean that you're sober. You can't say the word relapse if you had never had sobriety in the first place. Don't use language that you have no business using.
Ended up doing way too much. Like, to the point where it was like all night. Pretty much did like a total of like 4 grams.
For the record, 4 grams of Coca-Cola. I don't do Coca-Cola. Is that a lot? I have no idea. I've never done Coca-Cola. I don't even know how the amount of that would be. She was up all night and she said she did 4 grams. I don't know how many grams are in a, I have to say it this way, like a 8 pool ball. I don't know how many grams are in an 8 pool ball, but she did 4 grams. Sounds like a lot. 4 grams is an eighth and a gram. I don't know what that is. Like, oh, okay. Thank you, Inferno. So she had an 8 pool ball plus more, all by herself. Damn. That's a lot. That's like $600 worth. Yep. I told y'all. You want to know how you can spend 20, 30 grand a month and still be broke? That's one way. Too much Coca-Cola. That's where all her money went. Her addictions and natter. She said that she would buy 8 pool balls all the time. Yep. And go through them like crazy. Doing all that Coca-Cola for what? Where are you going? What are you doing? You building the house? What are you doing? Why do you need so much?
I bought like 8 grams, 7 grams. And I ended up like flushing the rest of it this morning with my uncle on the phone. By the morning, I was just...
I don't believe that. I don't believe she flushed. I believe she just simply told him that she was flushing. But if her uncle is an NA sponsor, I'm sure he knew she was lying. Unless he was there in person and watched her do it, I wouldn't be trusting her word. She probably just said that so she could stay at his place for a couple of days. That's all.
It's like at my desk and I looked at myself in the mirror and I was just like, oh my god, like what am I doing? Like this is bad, you know, and I have to ask for help. Like I just really felt alone and I wanted help. So I called tried getting a hold of my mom, but I think she was still sleeping. It was pretty early. So everyone I tried to get a hold of was sleeping, obviously. So but BB called me back first. And
Imagine that. So you're with a man, BB. You cheat on him. The relationship is over. You did him dirty, though. You move out of his house. You move into the villa with Pete's. And you're calling up your ex-boyfriend that you lived with for 5 years, telling him about what you did. Like you're still calling on him like he's supposed to do something, he's supposed to care. After what you did to him.
he's such an amazing person, you guys. Like as a human being, he's so caring and so amazing. He's an amazing person because I did lie to him, you know, a few times.
You lied
And be like,
to
"No, I'm not
everyone
using,"
more than a few times,
you know.
Chantal.
which you don't want to tell people you're using because then they're on your case about it and you just want to keep using. You know what I mean? Like I don't want like a
That was important. What'd you say? Not what Barbecue said, what Foodie said. Say it again, please.
Than a few times,
You know.
Chantal.
which you don't want to tell people you're using because then they're on your case about it and you just want to keep using. You know.
Bam. So when people were calling her out left and right during Crackhead Olympics for doing the Coca-Cola, and she swore she wasn't doing it, although she basically busted herself. She would be on live, turn the camera to one side, and we could hear her sniffing. She would come back with powder beneath her nose. Then when people called her out on that, then she would go to the bathroom and sniff, but she wouldn't mute. And we could hear her sniffing in the bathroom. And then when she would come back all kinds of hyper and call her out on it, then she learned to mute the camera and then go to the bathroom and do it. But still, we could tell. We could always tell. But she just said something important. She said, if you're doing rugs, you lie to people about what you do and you hide what you do because you want to keep doing it. And let's think about Foodie presently. She's got it. Food is her rug. Food is her main rug. She's got a food addiction, a severe food addiction. And she swears she's not doing the feeder content when she is. That's who she's catering to. That's who's getting the content from her. We saw yesterday, didn't we, chat? We saw the difference in her chat when she's not eating. They aren't giving her money. They are not giving her money for her to talk. They are giving her money to satisfy their food fetish. She's a food addict and they have a food fetish. And so it's a marriage made in hell. Addict meets enablers and funders of said addiction. That's how they come together. So her not admitting that she's doing the feeder content, she's denying the fact that she's letting people enable and fund her addictions and that they are getting progressively worse.
You know what I mean? Like I don't want like that kind of life. Addicted, homeless, no friends or family left to support you.
Than a few times,
You know.
Chantal.
Which you don't want to tell people you're using because then they're on your case about it and you just want to keep using. You know what I mean? Like I don't want like that kind of life. Addicted, homeless, No friends or family left to support you.
But you're on your way there. You don't want that life. You don't want to be a drug addicted, homeless addict with no friends and family. Well, you're mostly on the way there, aren't you? Your family barely sees you, they barely talk to you. You are definitely an addict. And the only thing keeping you from being homeless are your beezers. But if you reach a place where you cannot satisfy their fetishes, you will be out on the street. You keep a roof over your head by catering to them, by being their puppet. They tell you what to do, they tell you what to eat, they tell you where to go. You follow their direction, even if it means hurting your own body and becoming more addicted. And you reach a place where your addictions are so large now, they are unsustainable. I don't know if they can grow any larger, but maybe. But the amount of money that you need just to get by is ridiculous. $8,000 a month plus just to get by, that's insane. Like, I'm sure their feeders, they're going to reach a point where they're like, we can't give this one any more money. And I'm just going to call it, and I'm going to say it because it needs to be said, Foodie. I think your feeders, they want a Zyomara situation. They want to see you in a facility hooked up to oxygen. They want to see you in hospice care, hooked up to oxygen tubes, and at the same time still doing your fetish material for them. They want you to end up just like Zyomara. And if you get to a place where you can't do the request, you're done for. They'll find somebody else to give that money to that's still got a little bit of health left that can give them what they want, because that's really all they're there for.
Or you're obese, like you guys, my friends, my family. Yeah, it's like we're kind of like a support group in a way. My uncle called back and said, can you take me to the hospital? Like my uncle said, I'm always here for you. He said, I'm going to take you to the hospital and then you're coming home with us for a few days because you can't be alone right now. I said, I admitted to him, I said, I still have $1,000. He said,
but I thought you said you flushed it.
Right now while I'm on the phone, not $1,000. An 8-ball.
And she thinks it's funny. I still have an 8-ball. Hee hee. That's not funny.
I flushed an entire thing down the toilet. So, with him on the phone, I make pretty decent money to support myself, but not to support a cocaine habit.
So you're not stopping for health, you're stopping for monetary reasons. I mean, hey, at least you're stopping, allegedly.
And she didn't stop for monetary reasons. She was still making so much money. She didn't reach a place inside of herself and say, whoa, bro, I'm spending all this money on Coca-Cola and I'm doing too much. I've gone too far. She didn't have that wake up moment. She was just doing so much that she was making herself paranoid and her heart was racing and it was scaring her. And she just needed a place to dry out for a couple of days. Opinion. Chantal had a nasty habit back in the day of picking something, and she would always do too much and chase up her tolerance to the point where she couldn't get high anymore off of it. And then once she hit the ceiling, she would do something else and get high off of that. And then while she's getting high off of substance number 2, because she's waiting for the tolerance of substance 1 to come down so she can keep doing it and then chase it back all the way up again, always chasing the tail of the dragon. So in this moment, I feel like she's done so much of everything that she's like, I can't get high anymore. I'm going to go somewhere and I'm going to dry out for a few days. And that way, when I come home, I can get high. That's what this was all about.
started getting like really bad chest pain. Like, and I have pulmonary embolism. So
Up, she just admitted it. So this big stupid idiot, she has pulmonary embolisms. She's got an enlarged heart. She's got a heart murmur. This moron over here doing Coca-Cola. Not the thing you should be doing if you've got a pulmonary embolism in your lungs and heart issues. No, ma'am, no, sir. And the amount that she was doing, insane, crazy. Doing an 8.5 ball. Girl, what? No, 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 no.
people blaming me for being a burden on the healthcare system, blame my doctor, because I was told that anytime I have chest pain, they told me to go. Okay, so gotta add a bitchiness in there. I ended up needing to go to the ER because I was feeling like I was scared. Like I'm not a person who, I mean, I haven't used any kind of drugs in years and years and years, and it was more like party thing. So I'm not like a habitual, like, you know what I mean. So for me, that's a lot of stuff, and I was panicking. I'm like, BBW 420. This was not cut. Like it was like pure. Like it was like pure.
That's what Natter told her. He was the one that sold Foodie her party favors, and he purposely overcharged her. And he told her that the Coca-Cola that he was selling her was pure. And that is how he justified charging her so much money. He only charged her so that much money because he knew that she had it. And so he was getting his cut. He could have been selling her baby powder. She would have known the difference. It was pure. Chantal, listen. I don't do Coca-Cola, okay? But anybody with half a brain would know that anybody who might be, let's just say, distributing Coca-Cola, they're not going to sell absolutely pure Coca-Cola. They're going to step on it. They're going to dirty it up. They're going to add things just so they can break up the quantity and make more money. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that if you get something and there's a potential that it can be stepped on or mixed up with something, the dealers, they are going to do it because they can just stretch out the quantity and make more money off of what they got. Ain't no such thing as pure.
Like your whole face is numb, and that's why it's so addictive. Like the stuff I used to do at parties was crap, you know. This was like, I've never had that. No, it's true. Like, why are you going to the ER for addiction? Because drugs have a negative effect on your whole fucking body, and I want to make sure I'm not dying.
You want to make sure you're not dying, but you decide to try Coke.
Right. So the fact that it wasn't that she was just doing the Coca-Cola. She was doing such mass quantities that, you know, she's doing so much. And on top of that, when you're doing the Coca-Cola, you're not sleeping. That by itself will cause hallucinations. When you're up for like days at a time, just doing nothing but cola, you're going to hallucinate. You're going to see shadow people. You're going to see shit that ain't there. You might start talking to the walls because you're not fucking sleeping. You're up all night. You're not eating. You're full of energy and nowhere to go. You're going to, and if you got mental issues on top of that, like, you know, you might have scary thoughts. So Chantal did enough Coca-Cola so much that she wouldn't just do a little bit and then stop and then wait for the effects to die down before she did more. Like she would just do it and do it and do it and do it. And then she reaches a point where she's so high that she gets the heart palpitations. Your heart's pounding, which is going to make you paranoid and make you think, am I going to die? Am I going to die? Am I going to die? Because you're too high. You're too wired, bro. You've flown too close to the sun. That's why she was feeling this way.
Okay.
Went there. The nurse is so funny. the nurse was like giving me like a pep talk, you know, like get your life together and blah blah blah. And so they sent me right back to like to be hooked up to monitors and stuff, and then they did an EKG or ECG or whatever it's called. So I wasn't there long. I had a really bad headache. I thought I was having like I think I have a blood clot in my brain from the cocaine. I'm like,
What? You got a blood clot in your brain from the Coca-Cola. Chantal, do you know what a blood clot in the brain is? It's called an aneurysm. If you had one of those, you'd be dead. Okay?
I'm freaking out, and they're just like, so they did like blood tests to make sure there's like no sign. It was like a D dimer. It was like normal. They gave me Tylenol, and I felt like probably like an hour and a half later. I think they like just wanted me to relax and try to like come down.
I don't see what a Tylenol was going to do for her. Was that to bring down her blood pressure? Because I would imagine if she's done that much Coca-Cola, her blood pressure would be through the roof. That might cause a headache or make her head hurt. But really all they did was, you know, she was wired and she was scared. And they're like, okay, let's just calm her down. A lot of what's wrong here is that she's done too much. She's too wired. And she just needs to sit somewhere and calm down. So she did. They sat her down and she calmed down and she felt better.
Where was I? What was I saying? I can't think clearly right now, guys. Like, I didn't even remember.
This is true. I'm having a really hard time editing this. She is all over the place, and I have to move clips in order for a story to make sense back and forth. It's really bad.
Yeah, and that's how you can tell that while she was doing this live, she's high. She's high. She's wired here. She's supposed to be at her uncle's place and drying out and sobering up. And she's in her uncle's room and she's high. In somebody else's house and she's high as a fucking kite. Because like when you're doing Coca-Cola, you're you know, it's like a 10-lane highway and there's cars going in every direction.
These are really big right now. That's weird. It's probably still going to be in my system for a while. I did a lot. We went after the...
No, absolutely not. Listen, Chantal, I may not have done Coca-Cola, but one thing I do know about it is that if you do Coca-Cola, it does not stay in your system that long. Unless you've done something else that lasts longer. Coca-Cola does not stay in the system that fucking long. Now, if you did something else, like say, let's see, how can I say this without getting in trouble from YouTube? Molly Go Lightly, can I say that? If you're doing, say, Molly Go Lightly, that stays in your system a lot longer. Or acidicity. I hate saying code words. It's so stupid, but that's YouTube. So like something that has a longer lasting effect. Or Crystal, our friend Crystal. But Coca-Cola does not stay in the system that long. Right, thank you, Blue. Cola flushes out very quickly. That's part of why some people do it. So her being high here, she's either on something else or she did it before she came on camera. And that's why she's so scatterbrained.
Yeah, from the hospital, we went to the grocery store for food. Inpatient treatment, no. You have to pay for like rehab. Thousands of dollars. But if you want, it can be covered by the government, but there's a wait list. and I don't need detox. So, like medical
Obviously you do, bitch.
detox. So, but what I am doing is I called right away also, right after I called my family and said I've used.
Here's Foodie saying, yes, there's rehab. Yes, there are programs, but she loves to be friends with Mr. and Mrs. Yabutt. People who are procrastinators that don't want to do anything, they become best friends with Mr. and Mrs. Yabutt. I would do this, yeah, but. I would do that, yeah, but. There's always a but. There's always a reason not to. Well, I could get clean and sober, but you don't want to. You're not ready yet. You're finding reasons not to get sober and not to get clean versus ways in which maybe you can do it or halfway do it. She's too good of friends with Mr. and Mrs. Yeah, but. Yeah, but this. Yeah, but that. Yeah, but.
I messaged everyone important to me. I said I've used. I need your help. I need to go to the hospital right away for me, right there for me. And that motivates me to be there more for people too. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, so therapy. So yeah, because otherwise transfer of addiction will just keep happening. You know? Or I'll go back to
Man, I don't, no. No, I'm not buying that either. The whole transfer of addictions. There's no such thing. You can't transfer one addiction somewhere else. Once you have an addiction, you have it for life. There's no transfer. It's not like paperwork that you can take from one desk to another. Chantal has many addictions and they're all stacked on top of each other and they're all connected to one another. And worse, they're connected to mental and emotional issues, which are still unchecked and unaddressed. She could start to pull it all apart in therapy, but she doesn't want to. If she wanted to get healthy, she would need a team of doctors and therapists and psychotherapists and psychoanalysts and everybody at the ready to help her. Like there's so much going on with her. She would need doctors specializing in one specific thing, all working with each other, talking to each other, trying to figure her out, trying to figure out what works. And that's if she's committed to getting healthy. But you cannot transfer one addiction over somewhere else. That's ridiculous. That doesn't make any sense.
food or something if I don't get help coping with stuff, you know? So I called, right after I called my family to pick me up, I called this addiction center for women. And the lady answered right away and she was so nice. Like, they're so nice to you. Like, these people were so nice. So they told me that in order to get it funded by the government, I have to go through this place that's like a hospital, out of a hospital, and it's like the SAR or some kind of addiction recovery assessment. So like recovery assessment. So like what they do is they call you, like tomorrow I have an appointment at 2. And they do an assessment. It's like a half an hour long. They're going to assess my addiction, my problem, and I'm going to be totally honest with them, obviously, because I can get the appropriate help I need.
Okay, hold on a second to answer your question. Hello, what if? Why is your voice like that and not the usual 50-year-old trucker dude? Sometimes reactors, in order to keep Chantal from striking their video, like by upping the pitch of the voice, it's different than the original. So that would fall under being transformative. That's why they do it. Like if you do a reaction video or live, or just post a video on YouTube and you're using somebody else's content, you have to do different things to make it transformative. So changing the pitch of the voice kind of falls under being transformative. That's why. Like there's a lot of videos of Foodie where they speed things up or they change the pitch of the voice to fall under the transformative rule. Just letting you know, like just YouTube they're on one these days. So you got to be careful. Can we watch Sunburst's new reading on Chantal sometime? Tell you what, if we get through this, and if y'all want me to react to her reading, I haven't seen it yet. We can do that. I can do that. This video is only 21 minutes long, and we're like 5 minutes in. So when we're done with this, we can do that.
To determine what type of level, like what kind of help I need. But inpatient, there's a big wait list. She kept saying, like, are you on any other drugs? Are you on any opioids? Are you on any heroin? And I was like, no. Are you on anything like that, fentanyl? Or I was like, no, just coke. Like, I'm just doing, not just coke. Like, it's a big deal. But she said that the withdrawal from coke is not dangerous like opiates. So I don't know if I'll.
That's true. I have actually talked to a couple of people that were addicted to opiates, and I've heard that the staying off of them and the come down the withdrawal is absolute hell. It's terrible.
Need like a medical. I don't think I'll need a medical detox because like I have like symptoms, but they're not like life threatening. Excuse me, milking my members for attention. How about you go? Like, really? Like, how about you shut up and be hidden on my channel? Like, it blows my fucking mind that people actually think I create problems in my life for attention.
What you do. You do create problems in your life for attention. That's all you do. Chantal, that's all you've been doing for years. Ma'am, all the money you've made on YouTube, you've not just made money, but you've made life-changing money. Do you understand that? You're not just making like a simple salary and scraping by. You have made life-changing money, like the kind of money where you got extra money and you can do whatever it is you want. You can make your life better in any way you choose, and you chose to make it worse because you are determined to be the victim.
Unknown caller.
And I am turning off this fucking phone. Goodbye. Sorry about that. We're turning it off, but you are forever the victim. Like stacking up health problems, stacking up health issues, talking about your health issues. Oh, I have limited mobility, talking about your blood sugar, talking about your diabetes, talking about your BED, talking about your food addiction. All of it. Hi, cowboy. All you do is talk about problems. But you know the one thing we never hear from Foodie? Say it with me, chat. What have we never heard from Chantal? Solutions. That's what we never hear from her. Solutions to problems. We hear all about the fucking problems, but we never hear about the solutions. Hey guys, I have this problem, but I'm coming up with a solution. I know what I'm going to do. I've got a plan. This is the plan. I'm going to put the plan in motion. I got the blueprint. I'm drawing it up, and I'm taking these proper steps to execute the blueprint because I am determined to succeed. She's forever creating problems and bringing problems to the internet, and woe is me, and everybody feels sorry for me. I need money. I don't have any food. I want to eat. I need to rent a car. Problems. Always fucking problems. Chantal, every single person in the world has problems, but we're adults. And we work through our problems and we find the solutions wherever we can find them. We put our big girl and big boy panties on and we get to work. And we make it happen. And we become stronger and wiser and more experienced in life, figuring out the solutions. But you never do. You wait for other people to find the solutions for you and bring them to you. Forever acting like a fucking toddler. Help me, help me. No, ma'am. You help your damn self. I wish the people around you would stop fucking helping you. If they want to help you, they need to stop helping you. They need to teach you. You need to figure shit out on your own. That is the best way they can help you, is to stop offering their help and make you grow the fuck up. It's time that happened.
Like,
Listen, I know people grow and learn, but Chantal is still stuck in her 16 and she faked suicide for attention, so that comment wasn't really a reach.
yeah, that's why, Angie, I went to the hospital, you know, because I wanted to make sure that I wanted to get like a clean bill of health. But now I have to get like all this STD testing and stuff. Like I still have to get all that done with my doctor. So, but I got the ball rolling, and I'm very well supported, and that definitely makes a difference. Like, but my family's not stupid. They're like, because already I was like, I kind of wanted to go home tomorrow.
Yep. 2 or 3 days at her uncle's place, and she wants to go home. What is the saying? You can't heal in the same environment that you hurt in. If you're an addict and there's an environment that you can go to where there's going to be temptation, the temptation is going to be right there. You're going to be alone at the villa with your phone. Nothing stopping you, nobody around to pull you back from the edge of the cliff. What do you think is going to happen? You're going to jump. You're going to jump right back into the pit of addiction. Chantal was at her uncle's place for 3 days. And then she went home. But before she got home, she placed an entire large order for chemicals so that it would be there when she got home, and she showed it to us. So all this drying out was for what? She did too much. She got paranoid. She went to her uncle's place because she was paranoid. And then she went home and did more shit. So she was not really detoxing. She was just drying out from doing too many chemicals. And then once she fully dried out, she went home and got high again.
And like, you're not going home tomorrow. So I need a couple days to just really get out of my system. I think it takes like a day, but milking my members, like, give me a break. But that's what happens when you listen to these stupid friggin' reaction channels. And I don't care like how I lost the weight. I'm glad it's off, and I'm gonna just move on and keep it off.
Well, that didn't happen. She did lose weight when she was doing a lot of the Coca-Cola, but it took a lot of Coca-Cola for that weight to come off. Chantal has tried different ways over the years to lose weight. She tried the Ozempic. She didn't stay on the Ozempic. She didn't like the fact that the Ozempic stopped her from eating. The Coca-Cola did help her lose weight, but that's the wrong way to lose weight because you're developing a habit on top of another habit. She lost about 550 to 70 pounds, but then she gained it all back and then some. This is why it's a bad idea to use something unhealthy trying to lose weight, because if you find a toxic, unhealthy way to lose weight and it's a rug, that means you got to keep doing the rug, and that might lead to more problems. So, not a healthy way to lose weight.
From now on, you know, I'm not gonna like beat myself up and be like.
And you know what? Do you know why she was doing so much of the Coca-Cola? Because of Natter. Not just because Natter was selling it to her, but because Natter had an ex-girlfriend who was on the smaller side, which made Chantal feel a certain kind of way. She felt insecure and jealous. She wanted to lose weight to be more attractive to Natter. So doing the Coca-Cola, that was the only way she could lose weight. She was losing weight for him, not because she wanted to. She was doing it for Natter so that Natter would actually touch her.
people think it was just cocaine. It wasn't. It's not just cocaine.
That's horrible to say, and I agree. If it wasn't just cocaine, it was probably more drugs.
Oh, yeah, she was doing a little bit of everything back in the day. She was doing Coca-Cola. She confessed herself that she was doing the mushrooms uh, and Molly. She confessed to doing that too. So there were multiple things going on. Sometimes it was hard to know what she was on because I think she was on multiple things. She was candy flipping. She would do different things together to get certain effects.
No, it wasn't Dom who asked me if I liked to party. It was the other guy. It wasn't Dom.
Did I miss something? What other guy is she talking about?
Are you quitting weed? Thank you, XXHSXX. No, not right now. So for me, what kind of hurts is like having to cut off that toxic environment and Dom like just completely blocking and deleting, and they don't have a way to contact me, Kristaps. They're blocked like everywhere. Sure, you can unblock people, but that's the thing. Like, there's always a way if you really want to use or you really want to get in touch with somebody. Yes, because
She's not lying. Chantal lies a lot, but she ain't kidding. That if addicts want to do something, they will find a way. If they can't find one rug, they'll find another and do that instead. If say Chantal lost all of her Beezers today, the ones that are giving her money, she would find another way to get those rugs. She would find another way to get that money. If one way doesn't work, there's 10 more. Just coming off the money does not mean they're without their means. They'll find the means. They'll find the way. You know, they're gonna make sure those addictions get taken care of.
used all night last night up until like this morning. Like I stopped using at like 8 a.m.
Wow, this bitch. Say it again.
There's always a way. If you really want to use or you really want to get in touch with somebody.
Right.
Yes, because I used all night last night up until like this morning. Like I stopped using at like 8 a.m.
So she was. So she's basically telling on herself. She's at her uncle's place, staying with the uncle, and she was up all night and she was using until 8 o'clock in the morning after going to the hospital. That's why she looks like this. So imagine staying at the uncle's place and you're still getting high. She didn't stop.
Or so. Like early, it was in the morning, like before going to the hospital. It was like maybe like an hour before, like, you know, like, I don't know. I don't remember. It was like early morning. So, no more beauty bumps. Oh, no more bumps. That's all I did on fucking day for like 12 hours. Oh my god.
Gucci, I got your message. I don't know if you want me to talk about that information here, but I imagine you don't. Otherwise, you would have posted it. But I did see your message. I just saw it.
Or like, you know, like, I don't know. I don't remember. It was like early morning. So, no more beauty bumps. Oh, no more bumps. That's all I did on fucking day for like 12 hours. Oh my god. The thing with cocaine and why it's so dangerous and deadly, besides it, let's just say it's not cut with fentanyl, it stops your brain ability from producing dopamine and serotonin on its own or something like that. So you have to keep taking it to function and feel happy. Or
Well, for you, there's a reason why we called that era the Crackhead Olympics, just because she was constantly on the Coca Cola, which kept her up, which kept her awake. It Coca Cola makes you very talkative. So she would get full of energy off the Coca Cola, and this bitch would not go to bed. She was up literally all day, all night. She wasn't really eating until she wanted to come down. Then she would do the edibles and then she would munch the fuck out. But we were over here sober trying to keep up with her little high ass. And we would have to tag team each other in and out of the ring because we were exhausted. We didn't have Coca Cola, but she did. She had that high octane jet fuel in her engine, and we had unleaded. We were so tired. I hated her back then. We were so tired.
else that dreadful come down, you know, and it's just like,
Yep. Hold on a second. Thank you, Rumble, for being a member for 4 months. Replay gang, hugs and kisses to you too. Thank you for being here.
need more and more. It never stops. It never stops. What I've been getting I have my little drawer I showed you guys. My little setup of the drawer. I just put on my music. And like whenever I would do that, I would just like sit there and zone out and just listen to music and do it like every 5 minutes. Okay.
Now, like I'm just trying to picture the scene. So there's Chantal doing Coca-Cola alone in her bedroom. And Coca-Cola, it makes you talkative. It gives you energy. You want to get up and do something. But there she is, putting high octane jet fuel in her engine and going nowhere. That's like putting, super fuel in the tank of a Lamborghini and then it just sits in the driveway. You're doing that for what? Yeah, it's a very social rug. You want to be around people. You want to dance. You want to talk. And there she is doing it. And she's all by herself, alone, sequestered in her bedroom. The fuck? And I think that's why she did the live streams that she did. Because she would want to be around people and she would want to talk. And there's no one to talk to except the Beezers. So she would come online and act crazy.
If they were on another channel, that's petty. Well, a channel that makes up lies about me and causes people to come over here and call me a liar and, stupid shit, call me chunky junkie and like.
They're not wrong.
That I'm using for like 6 months or more.
Oh, by the way, there's also the public misconception that people who do Coca-Cola are going to be really, really skinny. Not always true. Because when you do things of the speed family, things that give you energy like Coca-Cola or maybe something similar, it is possible to be overweight because afterwards you are ravenously hungry and you will go to town on the food, which is what happened with Chantal. Hey, thank you, 13Z, for the super sticker. Appreciate you. So you can't think about somebody who's doing rugs as just looking one kind of way. It is possible to be Coca-Cola and be super morbidly obese. Was Pete's on it too? No, I don't think so. I don't think he touched any of the stuff that she touched. He wasn't interested.
And all this other crap. Yeah, accusing Shannon of being a user and like where I'm getting my drugs in Montreal. Like it's all fucking bullshit. Like fuck off. Get a life. Ugh, it pisses me off. They are bullies. They think that that's gonna help people. Like seriously. They're making like I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to talk about these people. They're just like, I don't ever make videos about talking about people like shit, you know?
No, you don't. Recently, you called somebody a cripple bitch. Now, what you got to say?
I don't. If you're going to expose anyone for being fat, maybe start with your face. Like, were you stung by a wasp nest recently? You should get that checked. Number 2, I know you want me, Simon. I know you have an obsession with bigger girls, but you can't have me. I don't fuck with men
That's okay. Nobody wants you.
whose noses are larger than their dicks, okay? Number 1, I have a thick ass, and without the proper equipment, it's just not happening. You seem very obsessed with those fat chicks. Maybe get help for your issues. She says she knows Dom's friends. Good for her. And who cares? Probably not even true, but if she does, so what? I'm not even talking to him anymore. The majority of the comments, I could tell it's people, like sheeple, believing everything they hear outside of my own channel. Like, why don't you come to the source? Like, do you believe everything you hear from somebody with a fucking side ponytail?
Well, for one, where are they gonna go if the source lies constantly? And 2, ma'am, you're bald and faster than an uncle, so zip it. You especially don't have room to talk.
She literally showed a maps photo pretty much showing where they thought the trap house was. So wrong. They're wrong about any trap house, number 1. You know how brilliant they are? Fucking hell. Stick to working wherever you're working, okay? Because YouTube fucking sleuthing is not working out for you.
Yet, are you sure about that? Because you told that story recently about cops came to my house and Girl World found the logs showing that police never came to your house, bitch. Girl World sleuthing works better than you think. Girl World sleuthing has cost you in so many lies. That's why you shouldn't lie. You're bad at it.
Or I don't know what your problem is, but so on my way back from wherever I was going to, like, you have to understand, this road with the BB's restaurant on it is called Beechwood. From Orleans, where I live, that's like a main.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to call her out on this. I don't know what the fuck she's doing over there. I don't know what she did this evening when she did this live, but she's got cotton mouth, y'all. She got a nasty case of cotton mouth going on. You seeing her popping those lips together, like trying to, because they're dry. Were you doing the Coca-Cola this evening? You got cotton mouth like nobody's business. You better get some water.
Main street to get to, like, if I want to go to another part of Ottawa, like let's say I want to go into Gatineau or something like that, or if I want to go into like more downtown area, like the Parkway. Yeah, downtown like area, kind of like the Parkway I take.
You know what, Chantal? There's an old saying. It is better to be thought a fool than to open your mouth and release all doubt. When you're lying about something, it is better to just stay quiet than start giving details and then people know that you're lying. The video is frozen. No, I just cut it off for a second.
From Orleans, that's like a street that it leads onto. There's a Burger King off of Marriott Avenue, and they're like, oh, we're gonna. So they just pick a random fucking house that I'm like parked in front of, and they're like, that's Dom's house. You probably like dox an innocent person, but okay. I don't know, Savage Keyboard. People love to hate me. People love to hate Amberlyn and I like bad. And it's just like, It's actually like really sickening. This is a chat where free speech is prohibited. No, it's not. Hate and negativity, unnecessary negativity, are prohibited. Sunshine. Yeah, they are. Sorry. There's no need for it. He was going to make the linguine. Oh, I'm gonna make it, Joe. Yeah, that makes me a liar. If I, you know, if I say I'm gonna do something, but I don't follow through with it, I'm a liar. It's not being a liar. Like, people just throw these same words around on the internet in this fucking community, and I really wish, like, this wasn't part of my community.
That doesn't necessarily make you a liar. It just makes you untrustworthy and unreliable. But what makes you a liar is saying you're getting help and clean and doing 4 grams of coke in the next breath.
Yep.
Like, I wasn't inpatient when I was 15. You see the doctor once a week. And then in the meantime, they take everything away from you. You're fucking bored. And all you're thinking about is wanting to, like, I need to keep occupied. Like, today was amazing. I had played with the dog. We went grocery shopping. We had a nice meal. We talked. So
Hey, I never had experience with inpatient or outpatient treatment, but if what she says is true, I would have to agree with her. Being preoccupied with other things would make the recovering process so much easier, in my opinion. I'm not a professional though, so this is not written in stone, but it would make sense to me.
you need to relax.
Yeah, well, I have a male friend that's been clean and sober for 35 years. And part of his sobriety is as soon as he gets up in the morning, he's out of the house and he's doing stuff. That is one way that he maintains his sobriety. He also goes to support meetings like clockwork 2 or 3 times a week. And part of Chantal's problem is that she's an addict and she's got nothing to occupy her time except for her addictions and the people who surround her that want her to do her addictions. Like if you want recovery, you not only have to stop doing the thing of choice, it's a complete lifestyle change. You've got to make changes in places you go, people you talk to, habits that you have, where you hang out, how you think. It all needs a complete overhaul.
And recover, but I can't just lay there in bed with no phone or nothing for like hours on end. I can't do that. With nothing but my thoughts? That's depressing. Oh yeah, there's literally no way for me to get anything here anyway. Like, number one.
And that's why she went home after 3 days. She hid at their uncle's house for 3 days. And then she went back home and then she did more rugs. She wasn't really trying to recover. She was just wanting to dry out because she had done so much she couldn't get high anymore. And the amount that she was doing was making her paranoid. That's pretty much it.
No one's gonna drive out here. Number two, I have no phone numbers. Number three, like my uncle would never allow that. Made me flush all the rest of my stuff. You know, all of it. All addictions are so interchangeable, my friend.
And yet, he made you flush your stuff. Yet there you are in his house, high as a fucking kite, bitch. So you claim that you flushed something, but clearly you didn't. And I bet you came to his house with chemicals. You snuck them in somehow. He didn't know, just to hang out and get high in his house. And then when you ran out of said chemicals that you brought with you, that's when you went back home. You're like, oh, I'm out now. I got to go home and get more.
And at one point, I was getting addicted to gambling. Like, it's just, not like recently, like years ago. That's the thing, guys. I mean, I mean, it's hard to trust addicts, and that's what I hate. Is that, like, you know.
You know, you're right. It's hard to trust an addict because when you're an addict and you've got a full on, full blown, large addiction, the addiction is going to be in control. It's going to be in control of your thoughts, of your actions. It's going to tell you what to do. You are not in control of yourself. The addiction has hold of you and it's dictating what you do and what you say. So you can't really trust an addict because they don't have self-control. Not while the addiction is in control.
Do you have anything on you now? Or like anytime I would go to the bathroom and spend a little more time in there, I feel like they would be like, is she snorting in there or something? Like, did she have some in her breast and is going in the bathroom? You know what I mean? And you know what? That's the thing. It could happen, but like,
Obviously it happened. Look at you. You're high as a kite in his house.
I'm gonna be on my own eventually, and you know, I know, Dax. That's the thing. I can't afford that habit. I can't afford a cocaine addiction.
Notice what she just said. I can't afford the addiction versus I don't want to do the addiction. I'm ready to quit. I've done so much that I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. She's saying, I can't afford it versus I don't want to do it. I'm taking a stand. I don't want to do it. It's all, I can't afford it. Okay, so you can't afford it. You know what that means? You're going to find something cheaper to do, but you're going to do something. I can't afford it. Yeah, Coca-Cola is very expensive, especially with the amount that you are doing. You can't afford it. It's a very expensive habit, but you were doing it. So if you can't afford it, that means you're going to find something cheaper to do.
I'll be broke in no time. No time flat. All my earnings, everything gone. You know. Why aren't you allowed to send a super chat? Why aren't people allowed to? BC Sunshine, why aren't people allowed to send super chats? If you piss me off, I'm gonna block you. And that's censorship. I'm absolutely. This is a private enterprise. I'm allowed to censor what I want. Trying to stop people from sending Chantal money.
Wow. I forgot about this part. So what did she do? Like turn off super chat so people would send her money through PayPal? Damn. Greedy hoe.
Yeah, like I need to support myself. Thank you very much. Like, why would I want someone on my page in my VIB telling? That's why I blocked Eggy. I'm not allowed to have any supporters just because I'm an addict.
Not those kind of supporters. You know, there are healthy ways to support an addict. You can support an addict in a healthy way by giving them advice, giving emotional support. That's good support for an addict, but giving financial support and putting money in their hand, knowing exactly where it's going to go, that is the wrong kind of support. That is toxic support. You're not supporting the person, you're supporting the habit. You're helping them to be sick. That is why I got such a problem with the Beezers. They know what they're doing and they know why they're doing it. I don't like Foodie. She's a horrible, rotten demon spawn. But what they're doing is wrong. And they know it's wrong, but they do it anyway. And she lets them do it.
Like, that's so fucking, that's bullshit.
If you're actually serious, I would get someone to manage your finances while you're recovering. That way you make sure your money goes where it needs to go and not, somewhere else.
Do they really think you'd be better off homeless?
Yeah, you know what she could have done? She could have given her paychecks to her mom and said, Mom, like, I don't trust myself. I'm making all this money and I do not trust myself. I know me. I know my addictions. I'm going to give you my paycheck and I'm going to give you access to certain accounts like paying the rent and all that. And then you can only give me so much money for so many things. And that way I can be sure I'm not going to blow it all on rugs. She could have done that, maybe gone to her mom, her uncle, or somebody, but she never did that.
Yeah, let's stop giving her money so she can be homeless and go even use more on the street. That's fucking brilliant. Another brilliant idea. Another brilliant idea.
This was such a manipulative move. You can't blame people for not wanting to fund a cocaine addiction. I can tell you're still not serious with this. This is horrible, Chantal.
I'm sharing my personal story, exactly. People are so fucking, like, outraged by, like Eugenia. It's like, you can't shame somebody into changing. You can't be like, this is disgusting. Look at you. I can't believe you're showing people this. You're so, like, people look up to you and you're like, yeah, well, guess what? People deal with addiction a lot more than you fucking think, okay? People have eating disorders. Like, I'm blocking Sunshine. Goodbye, you're annoying. I'm allowed to talk. I'm allowed to comment on anything I want. You don't like it? Bye.
I wonder why that's only applied to you.
I think I saw like FFG on like Instagram or something. The motto is like, I lost weight because of Amber Lynn and Foodie Beauty. So you're like fat shaming somebody into a motivation for you to lose weight. Like you're comparing your journey to someone else and you're bringing someone else's.
You know how many people over the years I have seen on YouTube or Twitter that have said that they see people like Amberlyn and Foodie, and it inspired them to go on a weight loss journey or to get their health together, and they've lost a lot of weight and they look and feel fabulous. Because Amber and Foodie, they're both cautionary tales of, if you don't take care of yourself, this is what you could be. You could be this miserable. You could be this immobile. You could be this unhealthy. And people see these examples and go, I don't want to end up like that. So they get their health together. They start working out. There's tons of people that I've seen on Twitter that are like, I've lost 50 pounds or I've lost 60 pounds or I started working out, and they look and feel fabulous. They use Girl World and watching the girls, and it inspired them to be better. And it's such a shame that Foodie and Amber, they had all the time and opportunity and energy in the world to get healthy. They had the money. Anything they wanted to do to get healthy, they had the money. They just got worse. But Foodie thinks it's a bad thing for people to watch her and Amber and get healthy. I don't think that's a bad thing. It's never a bad thing. Sometimes you can find inspiration in the weirdest places, but if you're meant to see it, if you're meant to be inspired by it, then that's why you saw it in the first place.
Journey down. Like, that's fucking disgusting. You're a disgusting human being. And the fact that you have such a big audience is actually fucking disturbing.
I might be ignorant here, but please someone explain to me how that's fat shaming. It should inspire you to lose weight yourself, because let's be clear here, being morbidly obese or even just obese isn't healthy.
No.
I don't care what anyone says, that's not good for your health whatsoever. So people need to stop with this obese positivity. Yeah, sure, you shouldn't be ashamed of your body, but you should also be actively trying to lose weight.
Gotta say. And I've seen like things that this person said about like someone's mom and stuff, like just fucking vile things. Name me a video where I ever talk about somebody like that.
So, I was just gonna forget the videos you made about Amber and Jen shaming them because they had to use the scooter in the store, or the video where you talked about Yaba's parenting skills, or the video you made threatening Charlie Gold's parents. I don't think you're ready for this conversation, Chantal.
Sometimes there's worse things than being fat. There's a lot of worse things than being
Wait, what? Hold on a minute. What? Like, I've heard Foodie talk about Yaba's parenting skills. I didn't know that she was threatening Charlie Gold's parents. Why would she do that? Why would you go after somebody's parents for? Like, what do they got to do with anything? That is fucked up.
fat. You can lose weight, but you're still an asshole. So, well,
Yep. And you could lose weight and you'd be a bigger asshole. Can you imagine if Chantal did lose weight? Y'all think she's bad now? Can you imagine this bitch if she were, say, 200 pounds? Oh, Lord, we ain't ready. We are not ready for that. If she's an asshole at 500 pounds, can you imagine what a CONT she would be at 200 pounds? Ooh, she'd be feeling herself. Feeling herself. Oh my God. Her ego would be bigger than the universe. And the worst part is, if she did lose all the weight, and if she got skinty or close to skinty, she would be that bitch that if she were, say, 200 pounds and she saw someone that were, say, 300 or 400 or 500, she would put down that person versus having compassion and say, I remember what it was like to be that size, and I feel for them. She'd be talking that person down from the side, forgetting how she used to be 500 pounds.
what would you rather?
I'm sorry to break this to you, but I think you're both. You should work on bettering the inside and the outside of yourself. You got a long road ahead, love.
Yeah, I'm restarting my blood clotting meds, Sandy. Nobody's enabling. They're not saying go and use. If anything, the negative comments make people want to use. Doesn't help.
Uh-oh.
Absolutely not. That's just
Oh, that was loud. I was just about to say something and barbecue got ahead of me. There she goes, blame shifting again. She's saying the negative comments make you want to use. No, you'd use anyway, regardless of the comments. Don't you do that. Don't you put it on the audience or your parents or your friends. Oh, like the negative comments make me use more. It's your fault. No, 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 no. No, no, you can't do that. You're an addict. You're going to use anyway, regardless of what people say to you. You cannot look at another person and say, look what you made me do. It's your fault. She did that with Salah. If Salah left her alone, she would have a B moment and then blame it on him. Look what you made me do. You left me alone. I was lonely. Therefore, I did this. She was going to do it regardless. She was just looking for someone to blame and make feel bad. You can't do that to your audience. Nope, no ma'am. Nope, not going to work.
all types are wrong. You are 37, full-blown adult. You can't blame your poor life choices on other people's comments, which, you could turn off or choose not to read. You're just disgusting for that comment. I can't.
Yeah, agreed.
Your nose must be sore. It is. With one nostril. I'm not gonna miss that.
You know what? I'm going to take a guess in the dark. I can't say for sure. I have no receipts, but I'm guessing that that extra gram of stuff that she was supposed to flush, she brought it with her to her uncle's house. And I'm saying that because the blown out pupils, she sounds really, really stuffy. She'd been wiping out her nose. I bet she brought it with her. She told her uncle, I flushed it. Yeah, she flushed it right up her nose. Tell me I'm wrong, Chantal. You brought that to your uncle's house and you brought it with you. You weren't going to be without it. as expensive as cola is, and you're going to flush it down the toilet. I don't believe that. I really would not believe that.
Every time I would do it, not long after, like for like a whole day at least, blowing my nose every few minutes. Well, you've seen, and like look like chunks of like brain. Ugh, and like yellow. It's so nasty.
That's not brain, stupid. That's mucus. The chunks of brain just coming out of her nose. You wish you had enough brain cells to do that. Your brain's not going to come out of your nose, you dumbass. Please.
It's like you get an instant cold or something. Like it just irritates the fuck out of your sinuses. So on my discharge papers from the hospital, the doctor is actually going to follow up with me in a couple weeks to make sure I have a plan of action. Like, they call it like a self-harm, like discussion of self-harm, like what to do with self-harm.
So the people who call the police on you due to self-harm aren't being so delusional now, are they? They were pretty right.
You know, I did not know this part of the video was in the video. But what just happened recently? All this talk about the cops came to my door for a wellness check. I did not plan this. I did not plan this part. I didn't even know this was in here. I swear to God, I didn't. But it lines up with what happened yesterday. Police came to my door for a wellness check. Were you saying all that stuff for attention, Chantal? I think you were. Yeah, that is weird, isn't it? Even though there was no call to your house. So explain that one.
I just like randomly rush out. I don't know why. Yeah, don't bring that up, plain cheeseburger. When I think of like how much money I've literally flushed down the toilet, it makes me mad.
You didn't flush it. She was up and doing this live stream. Why isn't she tired? Because she's wired, that's why.
So I don't want to.
Now, she doesn't look tired to me. She looks wired and wrecked. There's no like, I'm getting tired. She's not tired. She's wired and wrecked because she's been wired for so long. She's been up all night being wired, and she looks wrecked because she's wired.
He's like, go flush. I wasn't expecting him to say that. Like, I panicked. And like, took some on the way to the toilet.
Yeah, you know what, Chantal, you're telling on yourself. Stop messing with your nose.
Little thing on the way to the toilet and then flushed it. Like,
oh, hold on, Foodie, shut up. Thank you, Mrs. Peel. Another eye-opener rose, thank you. You're quite welcome. Like, again, full credit to the ankle. I forgot about this. And then Ankle did a react to this video. I'm like, I remember this, and what a perfect time to go over this and do a retro react considering the way that Foodie is behaving. So again, full credit to the Ankle for the inspiration for today's retro react.
there was like some like rock and powder, and I just flushed it all. I don't know, just another phase. Going through a little bit, Beeson, but nothing like major right now. Just feeling a bit rushed out. But I'll probably get the sweats tonight. That happens.
Wait, what? She'll probably get the sweats tonight. If she weren't doing any more of the Coca-Cola, why isn't she getting the sweats now? Right? Since allegedly she's not done it in a while, why isn't she getting the sweats? So she just told on herself again. I'll probably get the sweats tonight versus getting them right now. That's because she's wired right now. Like I said, I think she started this live and she was on it, but whatever she has, she's going to be out of it. And that's why she's going to get the sweats later. So I love the fact she tells on herself.
That happened to me one time. I used for a whole night, and I woke up drenched, like just drenched. My bed was drenched.
And you know what I think? I think whatever she had, she took over at her uncle's place. She had like a supply of something. Then after 3 days, she had to leave. And to keep from going through full on withdrawal of whatever the fuck it was, before she got home, she scheduled a green delivery so that the green delivery or whatever delivery it was would take the edge off so she wouldn't be going through full withdrawals.
It's crazy. I thought I was dying. And I just like went from being all in with him to quickly like explaining like a blurb why I'm blocking him. I can't talk to him anymore. And to have a nice life. And boom. You know, blocked. And it's just like there's no
You know, and that's another reason why Foodie being, she's again got several addictions. She will never go into rehab. She'll never be in recovery because if she had to go into rehab or an inpatient facility, what would have to happen for that? She would have to give up BG13 to somebody to take care of. She would have to be separated away from Natter and Salah. If she tried to go into rehab or an inpatient, while she was in there, she'd be like, her mind would be spinning with like, what are they doing? Who are they talking to? Because she knows if she took care of herself, they would walk away from her completely because she's not giving them more money. So she's never going to go into rehab. She's never going to go into inpatient because going into inpatient would mean her whole world has to change. And all the people that have attached themselves to her would have to detach, and she doesn't want them to detach. She wants to keep them right there.
I don't know, it's hard. I don't know if I can be alone with myself. But at the same time, I don't feel like being around people at all. Like, a big part of me wishes I never made any phone calls this morning and was still in my room. Or still getting the D every day.
You weren't getting the D every day.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
This is probably the most honest Chantal has ever been.
And that's why I do the retro reacts, because as sad as it is, we were getting more honest moments out of Foodie during Crackhead Olympics than we do now. Because then she was more open with her feelings and the thoughts in her head. Now she just hides everything and she eats her feelings versus talk about her feelings. And now she's more sick than she's ever been.
Honestly.
Oh, also, I only have access to, like, enough money. Like, I have somebody managing, like, money, so I don't just keep buying.
Hopefully it's true and it's not another lie to have people supercharge her to buy more drugs.
I'm struggling big time right now. That's me. Big time. Alright. I gotta go. For tonight. I will. I'll try to go live tomorrow night. Good night.
So that was the video. I thought that was a really good one to do a retro react to. And I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me just get out of here. And we can go on to, you guys said that you want to see Sunburst Tarot's newest reading to Foodie and have me react to it. Let me just find where it is. This reading was in her members only area. I'm typing. My fingers don't want to work. Let's see. Oh, it's a short reading too. It's not that long. That's good. That's very good. So everybody, please go check out Sunburst Tarot if you haven't already. If you don't know about her channel, there's the link for the video. You can check out all of her wonderful content. She also does private readings for people that want them. So if you're interested in a private reading from Sunburst, please get one. All right. So that I just concluded the retro part of the live. For those of you that are into tarot readings, you might want to keep watching. And for some people that are not into tarot, I'm going to be reacting to tarot. So I hope you guys enjoy. But this is Sunburst Tarot. So let's get started and see what Sunburst has to say about Foodie. Let's do it.
Buddy, and welcome to Sunburst Tarot, where today I'm going to take a look into Chantal Marie Sereau, aka Foodie Beauty. I don't know, I haven't watched her in a while. She's, I don't know, it's been weird, wild. Just want to do an energetic check-in on her. The one thing I have been seeing, it's just been a lot of medical talk, but yet no proof that she's actually been going to the hospital, but whatever. So I want to take a look, see what's going on, and see what we can see. But without further ado, let's dive in. But reminder, everything that I'm saying is all alleged and for entertainment purposes only. No facts, just my opinion, psychic downloads, and the such. So if you want to use what I'm saying to help form your own thoughts, opinions, and conclusions, please do so. If you don't want to, you don't have to. So with that, let's just take a quick check-in on what's kind of going on with her right now. I'm assuming not much, but we would never know. So let's take a look. What is going on? Well, we're avoiding catastrophe. We're avoiding the fall of everything. It's like things are falling apart, but they aren't falling apart as bad as they could be. Why is this? Because of the Emperor, control, masculine presence, a figure. Someone might be floating her money. Someone might be helping her out in the background. But things could be really bad, but they aren't as bad as they could be. Why is this? Because someone is having control. Someone is helping her out. Someone is giving her money. Because from material influence, the Fool, she's trying something new. Whether this is a new business. Look, this feels like she's trying different business ventures, different business avenues, trying to make money in a different way, somewhere, somehow. Also, sorry for the flashes. Not sure what that's all about. It's not normal because the hopes here, she wants to start something new. But in starting something new, she wants it to be her own thing that she wants to have this new start be a part of. Especially with this being this world, it's the haunted mansion ghost. I always see this one as more of yeah, I want to start something new, but I want to do it more on my terms. I don't want people to kind of always know what I'm doing. Because the unseen obstacle here is that she's kind of having to come to Jesus moment, where it's like you have to look at things. She's refusing to, or she's kind of seeing the writing on the wall in certain people, places, situations, and so she's having to take a look at situations differently. Is kind of what's going for her, because the negative influence is she is currently hiding a lot of stuff, but also just staying very much in silence, isn't going on a lot of places, isn't doing a lot of things. With the Hermit reversed here as well, she's having to go through a dark night of the soul, whether that's in front of the camera or not. That's kind of what she's doing, because what's going for her: judgment, public scrutiny, people knowing things coming out, coming to light, having the masses kind of figure out what's going on with her. But the other thing too here that I'm really getting drawn,
I keep feeling like with the Emperor card That feels like a major feeder. There's somebody in the background that is giving her money or directing business her way. And for some reason, I thought of Stefan with the Emperor. I did notice that after Chantal gave support to Stefan from Paradise, her money went all the way up, and it has stayed up for a while. So I think maybe that was an agreement between them that if you come out and you support me and you talk for me and white knight for me, I'll basically direct money your way. I'll give you money. I will direct feeders at you so that you can make more money. To me, that feels like Stefan's energy.
Too is that what I get more isn't just like Judgment Day. What I get more is she's up here and she's controlling where everyone's going, what everyone's saying, how everyone's feeling. And she's doing it pretty masterfully. If this was reversed, then I would say she's losing control of the narrative. But it feels like at this point in time, she is very much in control of the narrative. Because here in the past, yeah, she started off a new business. There were two sides to her, two things going on. But here in the future, not listening up to her higher intuitive self, she's lying to herself, lying to others about people, places, things, situations going on around her, and that's kind of just what I'm getting with, especially with the High Priestess reversed. Also, yeah, it just feels like the head's getting cut off, but it doesn't mean that her name isn't still scary. When I'm looking at like that Medusa card, interesting. So what I want to take a look at in particular here about Chantal is, so I've been hearing a lot of this stuff like, oh, her health, oh, she's going and saying this, oh, she's going and doing that. And I just want to take a look, see what's going on in terms of her health. Or I shouldn't say her health, because we all know she's quite sick. I think it's pretty obvious. We want to take a look at these doctor's appointments that she's apparently going to, not going to. Like, what's going on there? Like, what's that all about? So let's take a look. What's going on with her doctor's appointments? Or it's all about work. Yeah. This is all part of a script. If we look at this High Priestess card, look at the book that they're reading out of. This is the script. The script having to do with work.
Yeah,
If I'm not
hold on. That was important. All this medical stuff, it's part of a script. And a lot of people have speculated, and I think so too, that there are different people in our audience that are not just feeders, but they have a medical health aspect attached to the feederism. Like, think about when she got the collector cup, the nun's cap. She couldn't use that in the clinic. So was that for a cameo? Was that for a feeder? She talks a lot about her health issues, and I'm wondering if it's because there's somebody in her audience with a medical fetish of some sort or another, and she's catering to them by doing that. So like, she might just be role playing or putting on an act for someone in her audience for their benefit, and because they're giving her money to do so.
Mistaken, in the adult Yum Yum community, there's a kink of talking about how bad your health is.
Yes.
About these doctor's appointments, not going, getting these readings, not getting these readings. She's following the script. Every time she says she's going to a doctor, it's part of a script. Yep, now my left ear is ringing like crazy. This is all part of a script. This is all part of her thing. Every time everyone says,
yeah, isn't that weird? Thank you, Bent. She bought 20 nuns caps. What the fuck for? You're not going to the doctor 20 times. So why do you need 20 of them? That makes no sense. I can see buying one, but why are you buying 20? What do you need 20 of those for? Unless you're doing a series of videos. Somebody's asking for certain content and they are requesting that you use one of those for each video. I know, I hate it here. I'm sorry, Mrs. Peel. But we have to get into it. We have to explain it. But why would you buy 20 of those? If you just had one visit, then that means you'll only need one, maybe two. But why 20? I mean, think about it. You don't need that fucking many. The fuck for?
Now my left ear is ringing like crazy. This is all part of a script. This is all part of her thing. Every time everyone says, "Oh, she's going to the doctor. Oh, she's not going to the doctor," blah blah blah. You guys are just feeding into the script that these sick, very sick individuals, these death feeders, are wanting. They want her to pass, and part of their kink is to hear about the doctor's appointments or the missed doctor's appointments. Oh, my health isn't that bad. Oh, I'm losing my mobility. Oh, this is so bad. Oh, this isn't that bad. You guys, and anyone who reports on it is just playing into it. So congratulations, anyone who is falling for it, anyone who is following it. That's what this is. And if you think it's anything other than that, I think you are sorely mistaken and you are an idiot. Because from the material influences here, the Five of Cups, it's time to move on. This script is going to also get pretty old pretty quickly if it's not maintained. I do get that there is a sense that people are getting kind of sick of it, even from the adult yum yum community side. Because the hopes here is she's trying to come up with something new. There's something new that's wanting to be put into place. I'm not sure 100% what this is, but there's going to be a new offer, a new way of making money, whether this is maybe new, like, drugs that she's going to need to have to get or take. But the hope here is, like, I want to move on to something different or something more. The unseen obstacle here, though, is a Three of Swords. This is a heartbreak. This is a separation. This is a breakup of stuff. I could also see this being in terms of, like, her not going to the doctor or her going to the doctor. This could be maybe someone is going to stop giving her money. Maybe this is going to, because with the Five of Cups too, there is someone who's about to move on from her because maybe they aren't getting the results that they wanted, or it feels like they're being lied to. But there's something here of, like, we need to move on. Because the unseen obstacle, someone's not getting what they want. There's a breakup, there's a heartbreak. The negative influence here as well is that someone is not seeing, like, people are not seeing for what it is. People are kind of still being fooled. Hanged Man reversed here as well. Still, you're not seeing things in a new light. You're kind of being stuck, stagnant. Because what's going for this whole situation, the King of Swords, there is a man who is behind the scenes and being like, I want this. I'll give you money. I will give you the... We'll make this up a contract. Because here in the past, yeah, there she is. I didn't have money, so here's what I'm going to have to do. And here in the future, bad luck, bad opportunity. Whatever money is about this whole life of, about her health and the doctor's appointments and not making them, well, that's going to come back to bite her in the ass. So with the wheel reverse, this is like she's about to lose a ton of money on this.
You know what? And what's really twisted, I don't know if she actually went to the blood lab, if her mother actually picked her up, took her out. I mean, rule number one, Chantal lies. So either door number one, she lied about the whole thing. She didn't go anywhere. She didn't go to the lab. She didn't go out for lunch. She didn't go anyplace. Door number two, if she did, she basically used her mom to get a free meal, get some free clothes, get her house cleaned, told her mom that she had to go to the lab when she wasn't going to go to the lab, using her mom for different purposes. And it was all revolving around this person who's given her money. And it's really fucked up. If she did that to her mom.
I could also see this being like someone is leaving or has to leave of their own, for their own self-preservation, but that's kind of what I'm getting. Anything else here at the bottom of the deck as well? The Four of Swords. I mean, there's a portrayal of something that she's not. Also, I see this as we're headed into like a bedbound era soon-ish.
She's really
and
close.
whatever that may be, that is.
I think she's really close. I think Chantal's health is worse than what she lets on. She tries to cover it up, but her health is bad, really bad.
But that doesn't.
And I think that's the reason why the feeders, they're giving her more money now than they ever have, because they can sense that she's not well. And they're like, well, this is the final chapter. All we have to do is push her just a little bit faster and a little bit harder, and it'll happen. They want a Xiomara situation. They want her in a facility where she can't get up, and all she can do is just sit in bed and do requests. They don't want her going anywhere. They don't want her going to Natter. They don't want her traveling to go see Salah. I'm hearing in my head, the feeders, they don't like her being with men. They don't like the idea of her being in a relationship because the man gets in the way. Whoever the man is, they get in the way of what they want her to do. She gets distracted. She deflects away from her doing fetish content 100% of the time. Like, she just gets with a man and she gets distracted, and she doesn't want to do as much of the food content. She doesn't want to do as many of the food lives because she's spending time with a man, and that's where her attention is going. They want 100% of her attention on the food fetish. So they're working real hard to make sure that she becomes bedbound so that she's stuck doing nothing but food fetish content. And they're going to make sure that she doesn't travel at all.
Mean that people are going to be happy about it. So anything else we can get here for Miss Chantal Marie Sereau? Anything else going on? What's kind of the next big move that she kind of maybe wants to take? See what's going on. Two of Cups, love, relationships, codependency, wanting to be in love with another person, and that relationship's about to end. This is the death and rebirth of a relationship, of people, love, what's kind of going on for her. The next thing, we might be seeing the ending of a relationship, or kind of like one relationship is ending so a new one can start, because for material influence, we're out of ideas. We don't know what else to say. There's a bunch of lies about a relationship, because the hopes here, she wants to talk about it. She wants to manifest it. She wants to bring fruition to new people, places, things, hopes, ideas. That's her manifestation, especially around love and having that come in. The unseen obstacle, though, her magic is wild, untamed, and unfocused. Also, it's her way or the highway. And so instead of leading from a leadership standpoint, she is instead not leading from a leadership standpoint. She's kind of just being a brassy bitch. And she's not going to get what she wants. Because the negative influence here is, at the end of the day, what do you want? Do you want love or money? You can't have both. What are you going to have, love or money? Because what's going for her, she's about to have a situation that she can't defend herself from. Also, there could be a very greedy individual who just wants her money, or just wants money in general. Because here in the past, the Page of Cups upright has to do with brand new ideas, having an emotional, like having a really emotions, not just emotions, but also just like childlike emotions, being very childlike. Because here in the future, this is a breakup, this is a split, that's what's kind of coming up next for her. Whether this is going to be public or not, that's going to be completely up to her. But I do see a breakup or a lot of unhappiness at the bottom of everything. In terms of her, I mean, this is like, she's not gonna get what she wants. So,
and I think if Chantal is focused on a relationship, I feel the majority of that energy, I would say about 95% of the relationship love energy is directed at Natter, and 5% to Salah. I don't feel like when it comes to her and Salah, I don't feel like there's a strong amount of energy flowing in his direction. It's more flowing towards Natter. I mean, Salah is far away. And what are the chances of her going back to him? Very, very small. Versus Nader is in Canada. If she's got a chance with anybody, it would be with him, not with Salah. So I think she's pouring a lot of energy and a lot of money and a lot of hope and a lot of thought in Nader's direction, hoping that at some point maybe they can be together or spend time together. Salah just gets a little bit of money. He gets that shut up money so that he doesn't spill all of her tea. That's why she's continuing to give him money so he doesn't go ballistic and spill her tea and make tons of money without her. What she's giving him, I think, is shut up money. He gets a shut up stipend every month. I'll give you money as long as you don't spill my dirt. And he takes the payments. Nader gets a bigger amount of money because he's got all kinds of stuff on Chantal. He's got pictures. He's got videos of the two of them together. He knows a lot of stuff about her. He knows all of her dirt. So Nader has always been the one. Nader was the one that she really, really wanted. Salah was the one that she settled for because she couldn't have Nader. But Salah is mostly out of the picture, and she still wants Nader. And right now, if all she can do is see Nader on the side and keep it quiet and give him money and spend time with him, she's content with that. But best believe she's dying to tell people about it, but she knows she can't. Because the moment she opens her mouth and she reveals that she's seeing Nader, her beezers are going to be pissed. All the stuff that she's talked about with, he DV'd me, he essayed me, she can't walk that back. Once you paint yourself a victim, you got to stick with that story. So he has to be her dirty little secret and she has to be his, but it gives her companionship, so she's okay with that.
Man, we'll take a look at what else we got here for her, and then we'll kind of probably just end it. But what else do we have for Miss Chantal? Yeah, because in the past she got a message, she got a confession, spirit's nudge, an offer on the table of love. Because in the pot, and because this is something that's grounding her. This is a relationship. What's next for her? She's trying to get some hope around a relationship. Why is this? Because there's a very urgent, rapid change coming to her. Massive urgency, rapid change around a relationship that she was using to ground herself, to keep herself, I think, in reality. Because for material influence, she wants all the money. Again, bad contracts, bad deals, wants the money. This is a relationship that just wants her for money. Because from material influence, what she wants is to rise above the darkness. She wants a spiritual awakening, enlightenment. She wants new things. However, the unseen obstacle, she is governed by money. She's governed by luck, material, fortune, manifestation, money. But again, this is all, she's doing it to her detriment and to her demise. Again, what do you want? Do you want love or money? Because the negative influence here is she's going through a massive spiral, a spiral around money, about making money, money going out the door, money coming in. It's all about beginnings and endings. What's going for her? It's time for the unhealthy attachment, a karmic twin flame, a karmic connection to end and to be exposed. As here in the future, it's time to let shit go and to be playful again, have good luck, do new things, because a gift, an unexpected hidden surprise is coming. And she might not see this as good news of a split or something going awry, but in reality, it's probably the best thing for her, because at the bottom of the deck, it's time for spiritual practices, Wicca, Pentacles, about making money. But again, what do you want more, love or money? You can't have both. So that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm feeling. And then here's the ticket. Admit one. It's time for the ticket. It's time to punch that ticket. So we'll see what happens, but that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm feeling. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, feel free, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your own thoughts, opinions, and conclusions down below. If you would like, I don't know, put some fire emojis down there for us for Miss Chantal. Let's get for her passion, her desires, whatever you want to say. So that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm feeling. Again, thank you so very much for being here. If you want to book a personal reading with me or join YouTube members, see videos like this early, or get access to exclusive content, check that all out down below. Otherwise, thank you again so very much for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one. So thank you and bye.
Wonderful reading by Sunburst Tarot. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I thoroughly enjoyed that. And with that, I'm going to end the live. But you guys have been awesome. I really appreciate you guys being here. And I hope you guys enjoyed the Retro React, Peeps, and the Tarot React together. So I'm going to leave you guys with a very pretty song and wish you all an amazing day. Take care, everybody, and have a good one. Bye.